Oh man. Oh. Where did all of these shady bunch Jim Cramer types show up on my screen all of a sudden? What's going on, guys? I'm so excited for this morning's news. You guys have joined us today, right? I'm a little bit early, and that's because we have not only some PO box stuff to open. Da-da-da-da-da. I'm gonna be opening it up here while we look at the Jim Cramers and the Short Squeeze Stampede. Now, this is a little quick clip that is going to give us an epic GME moment. Then I'm gonna do some technical analysis and look at exactly what's going on in the pre-market and see what is up with the darkest moment for GME and AMC in a good amount of time. How we have a major bounce incoming and what we can do with this positive catalyst storm. We are in a perfect storm of positive catalysts, 4 major catalysts that we have written before yesterday, right? We saw them, we love them, and we are like, why are we not seeing more major catalysts actually drive the price up? So let me first say good morning to a bunch of you, and then I'm going to find Rensel's oh shoot, we got Gary Gensler coming in today. There's so much news that we have to say. So much news. New head of the SEC. New SEC head. So that would be that's really part of it. So we are excited for you guys to join us. Let me see who's here. We got John Dillon saying good morning. Stained Rock Studios, let's go. Nicholas Fisher, Anaya. Oh, Bitcoin. Wait, what's happening with Bitcoin? Uh-oh. Hope you guys already jumped into the $250 of free Bitcoin up to 63,000. Now that is a pretty significant rip. Go back to GME. All right, let's look at this news here. I'm going to open this package. Let's find out what Jim Cramer has to say for this epic GME movement while we wait for a couple more people to show up. Well, let me check my sound first. Oh, let me check my sound first. All right, sounds okay. All right.
What they've done, that's a site on Reddit. Whoops. I've never seen it before. And what WallStreetBets, which is really driving this, what they've done, that's a site on Reddit.
Oh, I wish I could play this, but it has the Gangster's Paradise in it. Oh, people putting in epic music and then I cannot play it. Oh no. Okay. Well, what can you do? So what we're gonna do instead is I'm just gonna open this package real quick. Because I want to thank those of you who have sent something in that PO box. We've already seen some treats from Gina Perez and the Texas Pet Company with a couple of treats for Meatball. This package is actually very, very tight. Oh, it's fast. It is from one of my mods. It's it's one of these tower amplifying things, and that's really cool. So I'm gonna hopefully be able to use this to not have to deal with bad connectivity in the future. Let's hope. Fingers crossed. And now that mystery is solved, let's go forward and find out a little bit more about GME and what happened during the pre-market. AMC's gonna get some love as well, guys. Let me take a look at. Let's just put Gary Gensler up here real quick. Likely getting voted chairman of the SEC today. So, oh man, I think someone, what's in the box? I think someone says smash that like button. I agree. Let's get it to, let's do a modest goal, like 1,200 today, right? Let's try to do 1,200 today. Then I'm going to take that pull of the Glenfiddich there. Miguel Lopez, I used the Wayback Machine yesterday to find the 005 that was pulled. Yes, it was pulled from the DTC website yesterday. I'm gonna check again to see if it's there, but we used the Internet Archiver to pull that document that was originally on the internet, but then was pulled yesterday. That internet link no longer goes anywhere. So, and that was in the description of the last live stream. Let me pull this microphone a little closer. Perfecto. Oh, someone has seen the GME ad. I've seen that too. I have no idea what that ad is about. I haven't seen it to the end yet. It's like some random guy going like, GME, what's going on here? I don't get to control the ads. So GME was trading sideways, consolidating for much of the after hours. We saw earlier that it wasn't even trying to contest the 142 level of resistance here, and that was a sign of sluggish after hours movement. We realized that that was something that was going to push us onward, and that was a pattern that we're going to have to try and track later on. In the pre-market, we saw a small contest of 142 that ultimately trended downward. So this, after this broke downward, we saw that it had an opportunity to actually break above 142, and now that is currently hugging this this resistance that has now been broken. So if this becomes a level of support before market opens in about 8 minutes, 11 minutes, we are going to see some major movement in the beginning of the market. We know that Gary Gensler is going to become the new SEC head today, likely by vote, and we've read DD on it on our side due to his work in the 2008 crisis. On AMC's side, however, we saw that there was this upwards consolidation early on, and that allowed us to give a little bit more boost to AMC that rocketed it up to try and contest 914. This is a different story than GME, because GME was not hugging any type of resistance or support, just hovering like liftlessly in between an ether space, whereas AMC right between these two levels of resistance support. Very strong normal fundamental technical movement. And when it contested 914, was soundly rejected, and now trending downward right back where it started. AMC is 1% up on the day, just 9 cents after on closing, and GameStop is up 0.5% on the day. So that right now is the pre-market activity. Likely what we're going to see for GameStop is, let's analyze what happened earlier yesterday, and then we'll use our new fancy tool right here to give a sense of where GameStop should be going for the morning as well. So right here we have GME trending upward for a small like reverse bounce here, right? We saw that there is a sharp rise trying to make it above this 165 resistance level. So a couple of people decided to try and beat out the paper hands early and jumped in. This was not enough for GME to avoid breaking downward and then seeing that that major 2 resistance bounce. We realized that this was a support here. So 142 supported, and then did not give enough momentum to break out of the VWAP. Likely we're going to see something very similar today. Usually we see the opposite, right? We see that there is the opportunity for GME to gather some elastic with a major paper hand, a major red candle in the beginning of the day, and then a bounce later on. However, yesterday we saw some optimistic people, maybe from the news, right? Catalyst can actually hurt us if it's not used in the right way. So likely we saw some optimistic people. They decided to jump in, and ultimately that did not play out for them. So let's actually take a quicker look at Rensel's DD now that we have gone through. And if you guys have any questions, I'm going to find out more. Hold on. Now that we have gone through. Oh, you're right. That sound does sound weird. So let me try to fix it. I think it's the noise suppression again. Let's see if that fixes it. Synopsis for today. What we need to know before market opens. TIRX at 18 right now. Free market is up to 20. So I've made a couple of dollars. Sweet. TIRX, we are going to be continuing watching you. All right. Synopsis for 4/13/2021. What we need to know. Good morning, Santiago. I am Renzel. Let's see how my sound sounds. All right. Synopsis for 4/13/2021. What we need to know. Good morning, Santiago. That sounds good. Sounding a little better now. Tim the Goat. Hey, Andrew. Bab.I is ripping massively today. Worth Bab.L. Okay. We'll take a look at Bab.L real quick. Yeah, I'm not sure which Bab we're talking about. Yeah, Matt says that TRX play is making a little bit of fun money. True. Let's see if we can get Meatball up here. Morning, Andrew. This is Skylar Siddons. What's going on? So we have a couple of you joining. We want that like button to be pressed. We want you guys to start having more friends on the show. So we're just waiting for maybe 2,000 concurrent viewers. That would be ideal. Oh no, Richard sank. I'm sorry to hear that. All right, let's run through this. We only have 6 minutes to do it. None of this is financial advice. First, the man with the plan, Gensler. Mr. Gensler is someone that I talked about before and in length. He is one of the people, approved by the Senate already. Okay, this feels good. Gary Gensler, Biden's pick to head SEC, approved by Senate committee. Okay, this is great. Is someone that we've talked about before and in length. He is one of the people responsible for making the Dodd-Frank Act possible, and looking right now, he is right on track from becoming the head of the SEC. But the SEC doesn't do anything. Correct. They believe the laissez-faire attitude the SEC has had the past few years was due to leadership. This guy F's, or people would say, actually does the job at hand. So unanimous consent agreement. So this ordered that upon the conclusion of morning business, the Senate proceed to executive session to resume consideration of the nomination of Polly Ellen Trottenberg to the Deputy Secretary of Transportation. Gary Gensler of Maryland to be a member of the Securities and Exchange Commission for the remainder of the term expiring June 5th, 2021. Okay. That's all the way up to June. So that's actually not even all the way up to Ryan Cohen's placement as the board of directors. Oh, Culver City, California. Wait, we can go out and see Ryan Cohen right now. So Ryan Cohen holding bags, proud bag holder like us. I see what you did there. That's good. You can do better than this at Reuters. No mention of potential internal GME candidates for CEO. Exclusive. GME initiates search for new CEO. So we saw that. Some people were wondering what was up with them looking at CEOs outside of the company. Let's get into that. For bigger companies, there are more things to keep in mind, especially when you have shareholders you need to report to. So what gives? Well, once you've made a short list, you can say, oh, remember Ryan? Yeah, he still seems like the best fit because you have to do your due diligence to look for the best suitable candidate. This is true. This is how it works in Silicon Valley all the time. You basically have to just look outside and say, there really aren't a lot of good candidates outside. Well, I really tried. So there you go. I tried my best. Were no good candidates outside the company. Guess I have to go with Ryan. So Ryan Cohen still could be knocked for the role here. Boy, I like this picture. I like this picture too. But I'm not sure if I can just make it my thumbnail. But it is a really good picture of him. So let's see. Austin has been pretty busy, but I still have been talking with him. So we send messages back and forth like every few hours. So we are working with Mason and the graphic designer. that built out the prototype for the 6 bullet points, and we're all really excited. So I'm excited as well. Okay, so let me see. Okay, Kodak. Ooh, okay, we'll take a look in just a second. 2 minutes until the market opens, guys. So we have Gary Gensler pegged as the head of the SEC. He has a great track record for the Dodd-Frank Act that helped out the 2008 financial crisis. Here's a super. John Deek. I have not seen that video on Trey's channel yet. However, I would love to go through it. Mods, if you find that, let me know. Okay, so for bigger companies, there are more things to keep in mind, especially when you have shareholders you need to report to. So what gives? Well, once you've made a short list, you can still say, oh, remember Ryan? Yeah, he still seems like the best fit, because you have to do your due diligence and look for the best suitable candidates. So that's what we were just talking about, in sense that he is given an opportunity to try and find another Ryan Cohen. If they can't, then Ryan Cohen's still the best guy. Also comes nicely with the DFV tweet of a guy jumping a gate or a wall. Oh, okay. Chairman and CEO. There we go. They gave him a shirt too. DTC005. So this one freaked Renzel out as well. Oh, I think the markets have just about to open, so I don't want to miss it. What's that bell? Bell at the ready? So we're likely going to see some major turbulence in the beginning of the market today. So hold on to your hats. I'm just getting ready with the bell. Boom, 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 boom. GME up a little bit more than 0.5% now, and AMC out of the gate already. So the softest bell, slightly louder bell. So GameStop and AMC are right out of the gate. We're likely going to see some major turbulence, so hold on tight. Right out of the gate, we saw that AMC was on a small spiral downward, minuscule, but now holding tight. GameStop is as well, holding tight as if it was a Mexican standoff. You're just kind of holding onto your gun, not sure exactly what to do. Let's keep our eye on them for that paper-handed dip. Scissors in the chat. If we know anything about paper hands, is that they scissors in the chat here. Let's see. $140. Let's see if GameStop can hold onto that mental barrier here. Let me get these Trader Joe almonds out of the way. Okay, so GameStop pushing past 12 cents on that 140 mental barrier. Let's see if we have called that bounce back correctly. So they reached out to a John Petrovsky, Director and Assistant General Counsel at DTC, and he sent this message. Thank you for your inquiry. There's a technical formatting issue with the filing. It will be refiled shortly and then reposted. In substance, it will remain the same. Okay, so you guys heard it here first. The 005 is not going to... It's just a technical error. Like I said, there was half of it seemed like a technical error. Half of it seemed like they were preparing something, and it was the former half. They see a small mansion. They see you alone and a lot of shorts. Oh, that's a lot of shorts. Yes. And guess who is throwing their weight out to help the retail a bit? It's Dennis Kelleher. We saw this from the Better Markets Twitter account. If you guys saw this film yesterday, Better Markets today filed an amicus brief with DC Circuit supporting SEC action that will help retail investors fight back against HFT abuse high-frequency trading algorithms. Our Steve Hall said outcome of Citadel versus SEC case will have a huge impact on everyday investors' ability to protect their money. Better Markets, Dennis Kelleher is still making moves and helping out the cause here. Bounce predicted. Saw that red paper-handed candle in both GME and AMC, and now we're seeing that bounce coming back and trying to retake 142. In GME's case, for AMC, a little more sluggish. That is expected. Volatility is going to be a little bit lower and movement a little bit more sluggish on AMC for both sides. So this is just, this can be really good before it gets more tricky. But I'm excited to see what comes out from here. TIRX is already halted. Let's see where it's trading at. 22 bucks. Ooh, that could have been some people's tickets to get more fuel for GME and AMC, right? If I bought just a couple more TIRX, it might have been a good idea, or to get a little more extra fund money. That's the FOMO. That's the hindsight bias. So don't let that control your life. Okay, Citadel and others can't give up and are in a do or die situation as a company, meaning that regardless of what they try, they have to pull out everything they can to get everything in order before the new rules come into play, before the annual shareholder meeting, because they may be able to walk away with a big hit if one thing doesn't go their way. But what if they get hit? They keep getting hit. Look at it as a casino, right? The largest casino in the dang world. It's failing because their normal tactics no longer work. New SEC head. New GME CEO. The new everything. New chairman, new SEC, GME CEO, new SEC head. Basically new everything. Matthew, bacon me crazy. Yes, we've talked about a lot that the caveat that technical analysis might not work when there is this type of manipulation, but we still have to be able to have some sort of baseline for understanding what to expect. GME is either forming a pennant. This might be a wedge, or this is likely going to start oscillating between two smaller levels of resistance and support. Let's take another look in a few seconds as it develops. Let's actually take a look at our fancy new tool here. So this is TradingView, as you guys might know, but the tool that we're looking at is our cheat code, which gives us 4 indicators: the squeeze indicator, we have the swing indicator, we have these Bollinger Bands that are custom made to be able to detect overselling and overbuying. Right now we're on the minute chart. So the market has just opened and we're looking at the price action right here. It's actually kind of faint to see. These candles, can I make them a little bit hollow candles? Let's make them hollow candles so that we can see the price a little bit better. And now that we have seen that there is a sell indicator here, but no squeeze or swing indicators, it was a moment of weakness in the beginning of the market, in the pre-market. Here, we are not seeing any signals yet for what we have gathered so far. However, if you guys look at the major dip earlier this, right before Power Hour has finished, cheat code actually gives us a pretty good look at it. It's way above in the red Bollinger Band here, so that is going to be an indicator for being overbought. We also have a sell indicator here from cheat code themselves. We have a CC squeeze indicator here and a CC swing indicator. You would have sold right around here, about, how much is that? $4 lower than the peak. However, that would have saved you gosh, $12? No, $10 when it actually dropped to the bottom. That's if you actually were trying to scalp GME, but that's just a powerful tool to teach you exactly where these indicators are coming and give an ape, someone who is a brand new beginner, a chance at actually understanding the markets. I think that's pretty cool. All right, guys, almost 1,000 likes, so I'm gonna bust this out at 1,200. Vicky Patterson. Was watching the original Star Trek. Never noticed today how much I look like Sulu. I do love George Takei. Before this, before the pandemic started, I was going to be part of George Takei's. There's a community theater musical. His Broadway musical was coming to the Bay Area, so I actually got a part in that. And then I never got to be in it. Darn it. Seb, good morning, fellow apes. Hope everyone had their coffee today. Looking for a fine day for TRX. Hoping DS follows in its footsteps. Love Siki. I really do appreciate that. That really supports the show, right? It's not easy to be able to open up your wallets, put your money where your mouth is. Supports the show, and I appreciate it. Okay, so we're not quite done with the morning update quite yet. So disrupting people's communication is one trick that they use. Bad news articles, shills, spread FUD, etc. Motley Fool must be so tightly bound inside because they just cannot stop writing negative articles about the GME and AMC saga. When someone buys, they buy below the current price. Price is 201, but they trade at 200, blah, blah, blah. So even with the continued buying pressure, it goes down. Or trading via dark pools, and yet this isn't helping anymore. Sure, it can drive the price down or whatever, but does it change anything? The company is still looking good and healthy and can't wait to hear about their roadmap and see all the changes they will implement. Hedgie's plan went tease up when RC stepped in, and they know it. GameStop ecosystem. GME. I'm not familiar with Gecko systems, but it looks like Ascendient Capital Group has been mentioned in naked shorting accusations before. Look who else is on the list below. Ooh. You know who is connected to those two? Point72 and their own Stephen Cohen just sold his penthouse. While this in of itself isn't weird news, you mean the real estate shifts, right? So I'd be all in for that if he doesn't paper hand at his 74% price cut. Granted, the house was on the market for 8 years. Okay, this is just a side story here. Steve Cohen's Manhattan penthouse sells at 74% price cut. Ooh. Let's take a look at that in just a sec. Be excellent to each other. Always be nice. And they'll be posting updates as they come. Okay, so that's actually not a ton of updates. There's actually barely any news here at all. Okay. Well, in that sense, we are going to be doing technical analyses for this morning. If you guys have ticker symbol suggestions, let us know. GME had an opportunity to wedge upward. However, this is coming from a consolidation, so neither from a downtrend or an uptrend. So this was a difficult pennant to read. Auto is already off. Oh, there it is. This can still be part of the morning paper hands that then chooses to bounce at a lower level of support. Currently, it looks like it is already rebounding off of 136. Let's see if that holds. AMC, on the other hand, just like Patrick and Rocky, just hanging on tight. Get some agua. Christopher Katz says that's my option sonar. Let me check. Option sonar is still looking like we can look at the 12th. So we can look at data from the 12th, right? That's from yesterday. However, all we see are puts out of the money. And then if we try to, very cool. Okay, so this is actually back on. So we have the ability to look at GME once more. Oh, and we can only look at 3 days from the past. Okay. I'll take a look at getting a premium subscription, but we are going to be able to have the use of option sonar again. If you guys want to be able to get a very powerful options tool, it is pinned in the live chat. It's called Tiblio, and it gives you a powerful tool to look at options, both calls and puts. So if you guys wanted to, go ahead and check that out. I'll replace that in just a few minutes. RKT, Ford More Performance says. So let's look at RKT here. Rocket Companies, my analysis of it is similar to the one from yesterday. Is that RKT not looking like it's going to rocket unintended anytime soon. It seems like it has a pretty hard floor here. In that sense, it is going to be at the bottom of the barrel if you wanted a tasty discount. Unfortunately, there is no opportunity for it to start to blow unless there's a major catalyst. I would like to know what catalyst happened over on the 29th here. But yes, there's no major catalyst moving forward after it paid its dividends and that date itself. Gains are gains, said the Z-Man. ACY says Gladys World. Guys, we're going to go back and look into the DD in just a second, but this morning I want to be able to answer everybody's questions. Hey, Noah Murphy, thank you so much for supporting the show. You know, you are the people that send supers are the artillerymen for the Moon Platoon, the Meatball Army, right? Without them, all the heavy lifting is impossible to get done. So I really do appreciate it. ACY. People was getting this weird bubble thing a little early. So ACY seems to have wedged down right here. And that was because the VWAP, this is actually a really good learning point here. We see the VWAP getting moving downward as the price of the stock is doing this parabola. And as the parabola happens, the VWAP gets leveraged downward and the exponential moving average gets leveraged upward. These two are then starting to encapsulate and keep ACY in a tighter wedge inward. So it acts as a resistance above. So this VWAP comes down and squishes the ACY downward, and the EMA moves upward and squishes it upward here. That's actually a really interesting learning moment here. We notice that right now ACY is currently trending a little bit volatile after a major rip from $3.36 all the way up to $18. That's the last few days. So back on the 31st, from a breakout of $3 all the way to $18. Okay, ACY, you're on my list now. That's for sure. Definitely on my list now for careful watching. I would say at the moment, let's take a look at if Chico would have been able to get ACY. That's the minute chart. Let's actually look at it on the hourly. So we're looking at here is if they would have been able to predict the buy order right here. So that's the buy. It's inside the Bollinger Band, that's 2. It has the CC squeeze here, that's 3. And it also has the CC swing here, that's 4. So you would have bought right here when you saw all 4 signals, right at the bottom of 448. And then you would have written this all the way to the top. So, this is good. This is a good tool. What would you have sold? You would have seen 3 out of 4 here, right? A sell inside the Bollinger Band and a swing indicator, but no squeeze indicator. So that is a 3 out of 4 risk that you would have had to take all the way up at 1741. But that would have returned you about 250+%. So I think ACY, you are currently, according to cheat code, not really anywhere advantageous. So that's my conclusion as well. Right now it just seems like it's going to have go through a period of consolidation before either pivot points are reached. Let's see. Andrew says, can you tell people that WeBull loan sharing is enabled by default? Yes, we want to take away the ammo to the hedge funds. Ooh, the Wall Street hijack. What is the documentary company that does that? If anyone knows anything about it, I would love to know. Okay. Why can't hedgies cover their shorts with options contracts that they can exercise? Sure, they will lose a ton of money, but wouldn't it work out better for them than being squeezed? We've talked about this a lot before. Why can't hedgies just go long? I'm assuming you want to either buy at the money calls, slightly out of the money calls, or deep in the money calls. Either way, the premiums make up for the delta. The premiums make up for any amount of money that they would have saved by buying a slightly more moderate call or a very safe call, right? If they buy a deep in the money call, the premium on top is going to be the difference between the price of a at the money or out of the money call. Okay. So let's go. I'm gonna go through and check the. Hold on. I'm gonna go through and check the other super stonk posts. Excuse you. Because we have 600 likes. We're getting there. We're almost there. Moving on up here. Liviu Balankan. Hey Andrew, can you look at OGI please? They have enormous. They have earnings today. Also looks like stock has support at 2.4. Do you think it'll go up? Thank you. AGI. Alamos Gold. You're looking at its support at 240. Hope you're not thinking about AGI OGI. I'm just like, I hope you're not hoping it's gonna go down like 80%. Hey, let's see if I put 240 as a level here. So I put 270, and then you're likely looking at this one touch point at 240. Usually you can't play around with just one touch point, although it looks like back in the beginning of March, it tried to break below 240 and also was supported. So you're looking for a reversal play. We see that the stock has already started to try and contest its own simple moving average here. I think that OGI is in a pretty good spot. So I'm pretty sure I yesterday looked into OGI, and even though it has broken past the level that I drew here, it now has 3 resistance levels to pass through if it wants to push past 380. So there's going to be some resistance. There's definitely going to be some turbulence on the way upward. So in my opinion, OGI looks positive because of this strong bounce. Like basically it's a volatile move away from this level that people do not believe the price of the stock is worth. And so that strong bounce is an indicator that OGI actually looking pretty positive. Rental DD, I already read through it. Is there something I missed? We read Rental's DD, we try to read Rental's DD before markets open because it says market open. This DD says clear proof of manipulation. Usually when that happens, I have to take a grain of salt. Tweet. Jeff Amazon X. Why is this why consistently my 3,000 plus share GME block buys weren't showing up on the exchange? This is a tweet of another. Oh, this is the same thing. This is a tweet of the dark pool shenanigans that we saw earlier. Okay, well at least we're talking about it again. Ape needs to comment and tag the SEC more, so to take another look at this. Producing naked shorts buy themselves those shorts in the dark pools, then grab those shorts to the main exchange. Okay, yeah, this is stuff that we've already explained in the past. If you guys have other tickers, let me know. Culver City. I can't believe Ryan Cohen was here taking a photo shoot here. I hope he doesn't become like very like normal. Angela Lewis. Andrew, I was able to get 100 shares of TIRX today. Wow. Hopefully that was because you believe in the company, not because you saw my funny money jumping in. But I like, congrats. Let's see. Good news update on 005. The technical formatting. So if you guys haven't heard that before yet, 005 was just a little bit of a technical issue. Funny that that's happening at one of the highest forms of the financial system, but okay. Hedgies are pumping and dumping penny stocks. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so a logical explanation as to why they're hammering the price down. Last share recall April 2020. Let me take a look at if everything's good. Convertible bonds. Austin is still doing research. Right now we're focusing on the 6 bullet points, but we do have a meeting coming up this week, so I am gonna press a little bit more on those convertible bonds. And of course, you know, it's whenever he wants to join the show, he might talk about that anytime this week. He's always welcome to come and co-host. Why we and the whales are waiting for the DTC OCC regulations to potentially initiate the squeeze, not the recall. We've already heard that before. SEC should really do look at that, the dark pools. All right, hedgies are pumping and dumping every penny stocks to raise capital to fight against us. They're manipulating penny stocks to exploit the OTC market and using a pump and dump strategy to raise funds in their war against us. Okay, let's see if there's bonus round, fight. Okay, so we have that. We also have why we are waiting for the whales to initiate the squeeze. This one's pretty fast. To protect the non-defaulting or OTC, DTC, OCC members and the market itself, but furthermore, it's about wealthy entities lining up to feast on the discounted assets liquidated from the defaulting OCC. Okay, I'm just trying to go through and make sure that we have the hottest news possible. A logical explanation for why they are hammering the price down. Last share recall 2020. Because back in 2020, the shares had recalled until the 20th of April. Hold on, let me see. They drove the price down from 50% from $5 to $2, and just to drive it up again by buying the shares that had been recalled. When they hit 650, their guess is that they went off the gas to try and get it off. Oh, okay. So here's a logical explanation. Because they're looking for the share recall from last 2020. Shares had to be recalled all until the 20th of April. So this chart right here, they drove the price down 50% from $5 to $2.50, very similar to how they're driving the price down now. Another 4.5% hit for GME. When they hit 650, the guess is that they went off the gas, let it go a bit, and just to buy the rest later. Okay, with every apes buying and holding every dip there is, doubt that we'll see under 100. This could be the most flaming fire sale. Okay, so that's a little bit of comfort for GME. We also have reports about Gary Gensler, so we should talk about that in just a sec. Hedge fund manager Steve Cohen. Uh-oh. Not Steve Cohen. Rokana. So we are going to finalize the 6 bullet points that Mason and Austin and I have been working on this past week. And we have a graphic designer on the team as well, a YouTuber who, sorry, not YouTuber, a Redditor who took the opportunity to do it himself, and then I reached out to him. So that's how the internet works nowadays. It was very cool. Ow. There you go, bud. Okay, someone wanted to look at Sundial, BTC 63K. Yeah, it might actually start to do a mad rip, a dash for the goal now. So don't FOMO out of BTC. This Coinbase IPO coming out tomorrow might be the catalyst for the entire crypto market. Okay, so GME doing a pretty expected. This is actually like a very lawful corrective wave here. So each of these subwaves is from 142 to 135, and then 137 to 132. So that's about $5 almost exactly each. So $5 subwaves, and now this is not likely a continuation because it is trying to match up to the heights of the beginning of this subwave. So this is likely the beginning of consolidation or impulse. So let's cross our fingers to make sure that this actually gives us a strong push back up to 142. Meatballs in the chat. Dogs in the chat, guys. Gabe Plankton in the chat. Krimmer in the chat. Thank you guys for joining us right now. DFE getting ready to exercise his calls. Seriously. Okay. So we have those penny stock pumps here. I think that's okay for now. Wish I could play this song, but it is the Gangsta's Paradise here, so I cannot. So if you guys haven't heard the news quite yet, we have the GameStop searching for a new CEO. Those of you who just joined in, this is a quick recap of it. GameStop Corp is looking for a new chief executive to replace George Sherman as it pivots from a brick and mortar video game retailer to an e-commerce firm. So this is being branded as the biggest shakeup at GameStop since Ryan Cohen, right? Since Ryan Cohen existed, essentially. Not Ryan Cohen became chairman of the board of directors. Since he started to exist, GameStop's board is working with an executive headhunter on the CEO search. So yeah, this is the reason why that we want to pour over this article real quick is because people are asking, why would we not look within, right? Why are we not looking inside the company and just pegging Ryan Cohen as the CEO? Well, it's because they wanted to be able to say within plausible deniability that we tried to find someone better than Ryan Cohen. It was just impossible. GameStop's board is working with an executive headhunter on the CEO search. Right? Several GameStop board directors are involved in the search and spoken with potential candidates from the gaming industry. GameStop spokesman declined to comment. GameStop shares are trading down 12%. Yes, that was what's happening yesterday. CEO replacement is the latest in a string of changes that Cohen has pursued since joining GameStop. Former CFO Jim Bell and CCO Frank Hamlin are among the senior executives who have left the company. In the recent weeks, we've been reporting on that. George Sherman, who has been CEO since April, has credited internally with slashing costs and steering GameStop through the COVID-19 pandemic. But Cohen and other GameStop board members view Sherman's 25 years of experience, primarily with brick and mortar retailers such as Home Depot, as less relevant. Oh no, Boomer got crushed because they didn't have the right kind of experience. Okay, so Cohen, of course, is going to be completely different. He's pushed for a number of hires. So essentially just making decisions on the hires, like while being on the board, and now as a board of directors, he's basically has the, as the chairman of the board of directors soon, he is basically just sculpting this even before he is properly positioned as the chairman. Emmanuel Comis, can you explain why you need to call and say to your broker in regards to the 420 share recount? Does this apply to Robinhood user? Robinhood, I know. Yes, go call. Make sure that your shares are not being loaned out right now so that they can prepare for that share recall and find all of the failure to delivers, right? This is just a piece of a piece of your educational journey, right? Learn exactly how a share recall works. The last share recall was huge for GME. The other side of it is that you are looking at being able to put the pressure on these brokers to be able to actually have a complete and an honest share recall so that we can make some of these naked shorts cover. Let's see. DFV for CEO. I would love to see that. ETCC is private, SEC is government. Yes. Who was asking about that? SSR does not really matter, Nicholas. They have unfortunately found out different ways, strategies to work around the SSRs. That's the short sale restriction list, in case you guys were curious. Just not something that actually holds the same kind of water, or the same kind of security. It's not a seatbelt, it's more of an airbag. And there's definitely ways that an airbag can also hurt you. Okay, so if you guys did have other ticker symbol suggestions, now is the time while we are waiting for GameStop and AMC to develop a little bit more. AMC is hugging on that 852. So right now we're looking at this W shape right here, right? This W is a little bit tightly compacted, to be fair, but that is the same double bottom that we call the George W, coming from a downtrend, moving in and giving us support at the exact same level twice in a row, both on the bodies but also on the wicks as well. This is a bullish sign, right? If we can see AMC push through this 850, we likely will start to see AMC push majorly past its VWAP and then trying to overtake the next level of resistance. So that is currently what AMC looks like. GME, on the other hand, having trouble exactly seeing if this period of consolidation is going to lead into more upwards impulse. So let's take a chill pill and not stress out too much about looking at those two graphs. Let's look at Juan Hernandez asking nicely about CLF. Cleveland Cliffs. Ooh, I already have put some levels of resistance and support here. So Cleveland. We have some DD from a couple of days ago to be able to support the this one. Why we are waiting for the DTC squeeze, the DTC to initiate the squeeze, and so there's 004. Why the proposed rule change is important. We have 004 and 801 for apes, right? So this for Homo erectus and for apes. So this is great. Is this from C Diggs? Oh, heck yeah. C Diggs has actually talked about coming on the show, and this is an opportunity for us to read a little bit more about his news. This is the theory of everything from C Diggs. Heck yeah. So that's on the chopping block right now. Oh, 2 from C Diggs. This is great. So what has C Diggs said before? He said, was busy yesterday, have some work on Monday, but rest of the week is open at the moment. We're about to read your work on 004. Come on the show whenever today or later this week. So, hold on. So let's do CLF first. Why is low hanger still saying open over and over? What does open mean? Hold on, let me see. Someone is asking intensely. Oh, Nico Pico says, do you think that we are seeing the same trend as Volkswagen squeeze on AMC? Volkswagen and AMC, even GME, is very difficult to compare because Volkswagen had the German government and Porsche in the equation. So in the very beginning, we were able to use that comparison, but now we're seeing those two stories diverge. However, the comeback component of that story is probably what you're talking about, and that is still relevant, right? It does become the most battered, the easiest to hurt right before the major rips. So CLF, let's look at that option chain in just a second for GME and AMC. CLF was playing nice right between these two channels that I've created here, there. But now it has actually pushed down underneath 1795, which is the support level that has the CLF bounced off once, twice, 3 times, and then a 4th time failed to bounce off, and now is sliding underneath. I would say that this is likely going to be another period of slow consolidation. If you're waiting for it to jump back up to 21, this is within the realms of possibility. However, right now it seems like after this past few days, it's just sluggishly been trending at this level of resistance, which is now, it is resistance. Originally it was acting as support. If you want to see it travel between these two levels, that is something more predictable. If you want to see a little bit more closely in depth as to why it is being supported here, there actually does seem to be another level of resistance and support here. So a tight channel right there that could build momentum for it to move upward. And as you can see right here, with 1725 and 1781, that is a tight resistance and support here. If it does bounce and accumulate momentum, that could allow it to rocket above its EMA. Okay, let's look at that options chain. So option sonar is giving us a peak. Whoa, okay, once more. We have no deep in the money calls on the 9th, but that does give us a look at the strike price is at 110, so $500,000. But honestly, the puts seem to currently have the battlegrounds here, which makes sense. But from the 9th, we are likely looking at 155, 160, 165 added together. That's about $1.5 million of puts. Overall, that's not a ton of volume compared to the millions of volume that we saw earlier. Let's look at AMC. AMC on the 9th has this put wall here at $11. Now, AMC hasn't been double digits for a while, so this was more tracking the activity around the 9th. But these put walls are being put up so that GME and AMC have no room, no option to breathe as they try and push up against these certain mental and actual technical barriers. What are my thoughts on Sundial? Curtis, I'll talk about Sundial in just a sec. I think we have Daniel Dornstead wanting to look at Isaiah. We should look at Isaiah in a sec. Someone said TIRX is hurting you. What's going on with TIRX? At 20 bucks, up 8% today. Ooh. GameStop actually doing a small impulse right here. If this is the start of something beautiful, right off of a little bit of consolidation here. This can also be considered as a part of a small subwave here. So this is a subwave of $5. Then the next one is only $1.50 or $2.50. This is only $2 roughly, and then this one has been tracking from 135 all the way to 138. So that's currently $4 in this subwave. If this is the end of this impulse here, it's definitely a abnormal looking one, but it does fit into GME being oversold a few minutes into the beginning of the market. This is why we can predict a bounce, because being oversold allows us to predict a reversal after the market opens. Okay, Nico wants to look at HCMC. As a reminder, we do have the whales are looking for the DTC OCC speculations, and why the proposed rule change for 004 is important. So We'll take a look at that in a second for apes. 004 and 801 for apes. Very nice. Illegal Monkey wants to look at Rigel. Okay, so HCMC. They're asking if this is a dead cat. So you're likely looking at the heights of HCMC and thinking, well, not really looking like it's going to rise any further. Let's see if there's any news catalyst that we can look at. Yeah, I would say right now HCMC does not look like at the moment for the short term that there's going to be any major catalyst that allows it to retake its former glory back in February. So as of right now, HCMC, you can stay in if you believe in news catalysts coming in soon. But if you are just as in the dark as the average investor in HCMC, this might not be able to rocket off anytime soon. Who said something about Rigel? Okay, Rigel here. Someone said bad news about Rigel. So $4 in the end of March that trended downward until it hit 350. A reversal in the pre-market that try and take 380 again, and then actually opened 10% higher, but it could have been like 40% higher or 30% higher. Overall, I don't think there's any. Let's see, Rigel Pharma shares surge as whatever meets a primary endpoint for safety in COVID-19. So this is a pharma directly related with COVID-19. This initial hype died down, right? There's usually an overcorrection here. So if you imagine that this is also an overcorrection, then the true price of the stock lies somewhere between where it is right now, $3.85, and where the heights it got to, $3.90. So I would say that this is currently still not hovering at the true price. It is at its VWAP and its EMA. However, because of the news today, I'm assuming that it's actually the true price is higher than its VWAP and EMA. So that news catalyst is driving the price action. However, how much higher? Maybe 20 cents. It definitely is capped at 30 cents higher, right? Because people are trying to figure out exactly how much this is worth based on the news themselves. Uh, 005 was taken down for an adjustment. It will be back. Yes, that's correct. All right, so this is in the chat while we cover this here. Hedgies are pumping and dumping. Oh, no, sorry. Why we and the whales are waiting for the DTC to initiate the squeeze. Yes, squeeze. Yes, please. Okay. Whoa, hold on. Let's get rid of this. Moon Platoon, we have had 4 major catalysts come out this week. However, the most important ones you have to understand, right, are Ryan Cohn becomes chairperson at a specific date, June 9th, after the annual meeting. We have a brand new search for a CEO because the brick and mortar person with more than 35 years of experience, George Sherman, 25 years of experience, George Sherman, is going to now have to get out of here. I'm going to search how many years of experience he has. Hold on. Well, let me just cut that. Moon Platoon, there are major catalysts for the price action of GME, and yet we have to understand what the major ones are, the ones that we can see outside of the fluff. Right now, we see some major catalysts that are not supposedly fluff that are acting like it. I need to get some hydration. Let's get hydrated, Meatball. You have a tie today? Where's Meatball's? I'm looking for Meatball's tie. Oh, here. Here's an American tie. Proud to be an American. There you go. Or I guess it could be any country's tie. Moon Platoon, I am glad to see you here because we have to push through all of the catalysts that are opened ourselves up to this week. We not only have Gary Gensler coming in as the SEC head, he helped out in the 2008 financial crisis and he's on our side. Let's see if he can actually mobilize the SEC and get something done. We also have Ryan Cohen coming in as the chairperson. We have OCC 801. We have the new CEO trying to be found by GME. However, what are we actually looking at? What is the most important pieces of the puzzle? Because without them, we would not be able to count on this squeeze. Well, actually, we are going to cover why we and our whales are waiting for the DTC OCC regulations to initiate the squeeze, not the recall, right? We've talked about that share recall. It was confirmed by Vanguard yesterday, and now that's something else that we need to be able to look at. Miles Dodd, I'll look at your super in just a second, but as a reminder, guys, watching to the end of the video helps the algorithm. Clicking that like button also helps us defeat it. And if you guys have an inkling to want to join us for the Moon Platoon 100,000 celebration, where we're all going to be chilling in the islands, handing out some cool prizes on 100,000, I will imagine that you guys want to be there. And there are some interesting milestones coming up at 80,000, 85,000. Let's get that number up. Appreciate you guys jumping on. And now let's actually break it down with this. 004 and 801 for apes. For apes in particular. It's kind of like one of those 4 men body soaps here. But yeah, it's for apes in particular. Some of you have requested C-Digs to try and give you guys a quick breakdown. So let's use this to give us a little bit of background on exactly what are we looking at with 004, and C-Digs even goes on further and says why the proposed rule change is important and possible shell games. So this video is going to be heady. It's going to have lots of entertainment and education. So let's get started here. Right, let's discuss the SR-DTCs 2021 004 and 801. Then we'll discuss DTC 005 and OCC 004. Right, are you confused yet? Let's try to break it down just real quick. DTC is the non-governmental governing body of the cartel known as the DTC. Right, the DTC has multiple arms. They have OCC, they have NSCC, they have a lot of different sister companies or sister organizing bodies. For apes, Citadel Farms belongs to Banana Farmer Association. Banana Farmer Association create banana backup crop that every farmer contributes to. If farmer crop goes bad, farmer can take from banana backup crops so farmer survive the season and farm next year. Very similar to being able to be the purse string for the purse string, right? You're looking at someone who needs to be the adult in the room when there's a lot of money flying around and sometimes the incentives don't align. You need a one person with a lot of liquidity, and that's the DTC. Citadel Farms wants more banana. Citadel Farms wants more banana plants for humans and burn down field of wild banana plants where apes eat. Apes not happy and attack Citadel Farms and take their banana crop and eat every last banana. Now Citadel Farms cry to Banana Farmer Association to ask for backup crop. Banana Farmer Association, the DTC in this case, sees that Citadel Farms did this to themselves and now says that first they only give back bananas that you contributed. Then they will sell your equipment, tools, and lease your land and give you more banana. So given that is the ape explanation, essentially we are seeing that the originally internalized risk for the company organization known as the DTC is now going out and seeing the risky behavior that specific hedge funds like Citadel have been undertaking, and then turning the table and saying, well, actually, it seems like you are the one at risk. It's a time to tell exactly how to liquidate every last banana that you have. Also, all of your tools. For Homo erectus, right? We had an explanation for apes. Now let's talk about it for humans. 801 is not a margin call and doesn't allow OCC to margin call Citadel. This is an important note, right? It's the power stone, but not in the way that we think it automatically causes a margin call. It raises the target capital contribution to 25% for all members from the current variable rate, and it introduces a new minimum corporate contribution that DTC already has for its members. It has a different purpose in this game, and you need to understand why we are waiting for this, because it creates the conditions whereby Citadel can be margin called without a lifeline. So it doesn't allow Citadel to snap. It just gives Citadel the power. And the power is being able to raise the capital contribution to 25%. Essentially, at the end of the day, this gives them less money. Let's actually think about this in this way. Let's say that we have that thermometer back again. Mr. Whiteboard, tell us something good. There's this thermometer that I'm gonna have to draw like a line here, and it bubbles up as the price of GME goes up. So this is GME price, and this is also on a dual axis here, the amount of money that Citadel has. And this is the mix squeeze, right? Citadel's up here, maybe Melvin's down here. It's going to cause certain companies to go bankrupt before others default faster than others. However, Citadel has a certain amount of money, and just like how they bailed out Melvin, they can get an even bigger whale up here to give them some money, right? And this is how Citadel saved Melvin the first time. They just gave them more money. However, what this 801 rule does is actually takes Citadel's contributions in cash that they need for a certain piece of this, and then increases that so that increases that requirement so that Citadel falls on this thermometer. So now Citadel has a lower threshold for when it gets margin called. And that is the point, right? It doesn't allow that it doesn't allow an immediate, hey, suddenly we want to margin call you. It's that, well, we're gonna change how tall you need to be in order to ride the not getting margin called roller coaster. And if you're not riding that roller coaster, you're gonna be margin called because of the requirements that we put in place. So again here, snippet from page 19, establishing a minimum corporate contribution which OCC would apply after a defaulting clearing member's margin and clearing fund deposits by applying the minimum corporate contribution before charging the clearing fund. The proposed change helps protect non-defaulting clearing members from default losses of another clearing member, right? It's essentially trying to say, hey, you got yourself into this mess. Now I want to see some extra cash to make sure that you can get yourself out of this mess. Basically, pull yourself up right now. If you could pull yourself up, you could do it. If you're worried that you won't be able to pull yourself up later, do it right now. And if you don't have the extra liquidity that is necessary, right, that margin calls are all about how much actual assets, how much liquidity do you actually have, then that is a slippery slope to actually getting margin called. We're about 004. It does the same thing, but in the context of DTC. It subtly shifts the language of the underlying agreement to make it clear that the defaulting member's corporate contribution gets drawn down first, and assets from the defaulting member are used as collateral for liquidity. Prior to 004, they would have drawn the liquidity from all member contributions. And then finally, so we had a bit of a scare from 005, but we're going to talk about that in just a second. If you have ticker symbol suggestions, let me know. We do go bell to bell. If you guys haven't turned on notifications, that's the easiest way to not miss out on one of these live streams. The way they see it, the DTC and OCC are setting the stage to firewall some entity, might be Citadel, might be others, from taking the member insurance pool. Basically, with the change in verbiage with respect to 801 and 004, they are removing the lifeline from any defaulting member. It's the Banana Farmers Association saying that if you make a mistake, we're not giving you our bananas until your bananas are all used up. We may very well see a huge shift in GME in the coming days as the firewalls around Citadel are coming into place. OCC 801 firewalling Citadel options activity, DTC 004 firewalling Citadel securities activity. Without these lifelines, it will all be guarantees that Citadel will be completely wiped out in a default. The billion-dollar question is whether this is the condition for which the whale is waiting for to launch the final attack. And we're talking about the long whales on our side. And here's the kicker here. we're looking at AMC and GME actually go green for the day, which we'll track in just a second. See that double bottom on AMC, bullish signal. And since they track together, I think that maybe it's in the future it would be safe to say that there is actually one signal leads to another, because AMC here, that double bottom, was very easy to read, basically concave directly up and reached up to the opening price here. And then GME followed in suit, even though its signal wasn't as strong of whether or not it was going to reverse. So the general idea is that you're looking at the boss stage where they have a bunch of lifelines, right? They have like tubes being connected to them with like mini bosses here. But these mini bosses, I'm gonna make them candy shaped mini bosses. These mini bosses are cutting their ties with these new DTC regulations and saying, basically, all of your money is all of your money now. You used to have all of us on your side, boss, but now we don't work for you anymore because you lied to us, because you were doing risky business. You're a risky uncle, and they're cutting their ties here. They saw lots of posts over the weekend hyping this, and the reality is that this change is not relevant for 005. So as a reminder, 005 was taken off of the website of the DTC for technical purposes, right? That there is no substantial like legal or regulation changes to the document. They just had to take it down because the formatting or whatever it is. 004 is probably the final nail. So they can summarize it for you, but you should really read it for yourself, right? I'm going to put this in the description so you guys can. In summary, 005 is not relevant to either GME, AMC, nor any other stock that is currently being shorted. It is purely a change to the member agreement to clarify a technical point of how DTC system manage accounting. So in terms of what C Diggs has to say, we have already invited him on the show, so he can summarize that more. However, 005, in other DD authors' opinion, and in my opinion, still serves as in a way to be able to prevent cyclical FTDs, and maybe it's just something that CDIGS doesn't either have visibility on or doesn't believe is a piece of manipulation that is happening. Oh, I'm not a cat says, please pet Meatball for me. He makes my day. Here you go, buddy. Big pet for Meatball. Okay, so that gives us a sense of 004 and its importance, and then the proposed rule change is important and possible shell games. So we have here just let's take a look at what the members of the DTC and OCC are. If you guys aren't aware, we don't just have Citadel here. We have a cross section. Apex Clearing, which actually is the guy behind a lot of the brokers you use, right? It's the guy behind I think WeBull and some other companies. So this is one member of the OCC and the DTC. So we have check marks for everybody here. So we have Barclays and of course Citadel Clearing and Citadel Securities. So this is a small cross section of who is in there. Note who's in both of these organizations. Our favorite chumps, Robinhood and Citadel, Shark of Sharks, Goldman Sachs, Goldman's punching bag, Credit Suisse, and a big time GME long, Vanguard. Enter 004 and the OCC 2021-003. So that one is pending because once that one is passed, then 801 will be will also go into effect. They're rehashing their earlier post, but it's important to frame why these two proposed amendments to existing rules are important to understand how the key players are positioning themselves at the moment. Before applying the participants' fund deposits of all other participants to cover any resulting loss, DTC will apply the corporate contribution. Similarly, the sentence directly above the definition of corporate contribution will be revised so that remove the words applying the participants' fund deposits and of all other participants. So this rule change is here in highlight, both of which OCC would exhaust before charging a loss to the clearing fund and the ETCP unvested balance. What you should see here is a common theme. DTC and OCC members are shifting how they pay out from their common member funds in the event of a member default. So we had a long conversation about how this with Austin about exactly how the family is changing how they deal with money, right? With risky uncles in the family, this is going to be a completely different way that we are going to close out specific counts. Essentially, the question we were asking is, why would you prepare for the death or the funeral of a family member if you didn't expect a family member to really die So that's the question here, right? You wouldn't be able to say, in the event of my death, this is exactly what happens, if you didn't expect that someone was going to die. So this goes on in finer detail, right? We know that CDiggs is someone with a lot of legal chops, as well as someone that we hope to have on the show soon. Conclusion: if you've followed the post and you've seen the following my train of thoughts, and the takeaway is that some point late 2020 through late January 2021, there was a sense that they wanted to margin call these shorts and get it over with. When DTC, OCC, and SEC realized how bad the situation was, they changed course to try and hold everything steady while they readied the medicine. So therefore, we've been trading sideways since March 16th, simply because any volatility could blow this all up before the firewalls are in place. Before the defaults are allowed to happen, these three key pieces need to be in place in orderly wind down. So we have 004, we have 003, which review window is 45 days from February 24th, and then we have 004, 45-day window from March 31st. So once again, I think this gives you a comprehensive overview of the firewalls. Essentially, if you guys played Breath of the Wild, this is the guardians that you have to activate early, and we need to get them up in order for this boss battle to be all the more controlled. Because at the end of the day, this is not a government agency, but they still care about control. I really do appreciate you guys coming on with the adventure. Make sure to have already gotten your 2 free stocks from WeBull. That really does help you start off with a little bit of capital to invest in whatever you want, right? And then you don't even have to keep those stocks. You can sell them, go do whatever you want with them. Do check out the link in the description for WeBull, and check out the link in the description for $250 of free BlockFi. Supporting the show really does help. I appreciate every one of you who does, and I will see you in the money, either through the Patreon button down below or the join button next to the subscribe button. See you on the path to 100,000, and for now, but not for forever, peace. Sweet. So, let me see what everyone else is saying. We got a lot of people in here. What's going on? Scissors in the chat for all our new brethrens and sisterins. Everyone who is chilling with us right now. Oh boy, how is everybody doing? Thank you for that super that just says pet Meatball for me. I really like that. Here's a little treat for Meatball. He doesn't chew them though, so they're barely treats. He just guys swallows them. You get $250 of free BTC. Did I say 2 free stocks? Uh-oh. Moon Platoon it is, says Andy A. Heck yeah. We actually have new, speaking of Moon Platoon, we actually have new merch that we almost never talk about. But here's a quick 10-second look at the new merch that we have here. Right, we got Meatball subs, right? So you guys can take a Meatball sub. We also have this hoodie that I think is absolutely awesome, right? You can have it in any color you want. And then finally, you can take a look at these socks. Meatball socks? Anyway, it's in the description below. It's also andrewmomoney.com. www.andrewmomoney.com. And there's that. Alright, back to the ticker symbols, guys. What do you guys got? Andy A. Oh, he really was convinced. What's going on, man? I appreciate you jumping on to the Moon Platoon. You are now officer of the Moon Platoon, and Meatball is ready to take you all the way to Tenby Town. Lead the army away. Let's go. Jezebel. Oh yeah, getting that hoodie. Heck yeah. That hoodie is actually $3 or $4 cheaper. I don't like to do like sale, so it is 10% off of the other hoodies, because I want this hoodie to actually go out and you guys to see it. Let's see. So GameStop had this rise here. We saw earlier that this could have been the start of a $5 subwave. We saw that this was a continuation of that subwave, and then finally this last subwave is from 139 to 145. So that is a $6 one. $6 moving up GameStop to push above 142. I'm surprised it couldn't support itself at 142. So currently, it seemed to have bounced off the simple EMA, a simple moving average, and now it is hovering directly underneath 142. AMC did not have that correction actually. AMC continues to rip upward, is already 2.5% up, slowly but steadily, making one of the more beautiful W's that we've ever seen. If you guys don't trust technical analyses, that double bottom is beautiful, absolutely perfect. When doing TA for day trading, is it better to use 15-minute intervals or lower? Yes, 100%. If you're looking for day trading, that is absolutely it. That's the ticket. If you're looking for longer term holds, right, you usually want to be able to also work on the fundamentals. Harder to work on the fundamentals when the stocks are so heavily manipulated. Meatball beanies would be adorbs. Jessa, I'm hearing you. I had to decide between the socks or the beanies. Let's see. He can't. So I will say, he can't. YouTubers cannot invite people to do anything. Definitely cannot invite people to buy stock, and so that would be a clear clear manipulation of the stock, coordination of the stock. So that's why I cannot invite any of you to do anything. Cannot invite you to buy, sell, or hold. Meatball says, give Dogecoin some Doge love. Is Dogecoin finally above 6 cents? Let's take a look at Doge. Doji. I haven't looked at swaggy stocks in a long time. Let's see if TradingView actually predicted this rip here. Where is my... Oh, that's weird. Okay, let's see if TradingView actually predicted this rip here. The hourly chart. Let's go to the 1 minute chart. So it had 2 out of 4. Actually, no, it has 3 out of 4. So inside the Bollinger Band, it had a buy signal and then a swing signal here. So if you were using a cheat code, you would have been able to catch GME. Oh, sorry, this is freaking ACY. Excuse me, almost said a bad word. Okay, that is 4 out of 4 signals. Buy signal inside the Bollinger Band and the green squeeze signal and the green swing signal. 4 out of 4. If you were able to catch this, you would have been able to catch GME all the way up from the bottom of 131. Positive tool. Positive tool. It is not free, but if you wanted to use it, go ahead and grab it in the description down below. Cheat code Algo. It's the very first link. Roaring Kitty tweeted. Let me check. Roaring Kitty tweet is this looks like a TV show, and all he's doing is just going eh. Oh, this is from 15 minutes ago. Okay, if you guys have other suggestions, I want to see them. Do you have a Meatball Hemi ring? What is that? Hold on, I'm gonna search what Hemi rings are. Oh, like a cool ring? Yeah, I could look into it. I've never heard of that before. Jill K, just seen the merch. Nice stuff, Andrew. No, it's a good merch store. I made it. Yes, me. I could have outsourced it, but no, I got stubborn and made it a hobby, a little side project here. Coding a website with a template and then finding out how to plug it in and buying a domain. AndrewMoMoney.com. It's fun to learn. Zhao Long is like, catch me up, Andrew. Well, we saw one of the most beautiful George W's on AMC possible. So this was brought to you by Andrew's brain. This is really a clear and compelling George W right here. Double bottom right here, almost a triple bottom, both on the candles and on the wicks here. both on the bodies of the candle and the wicks of the candle. But now AMC is on a mad tear. It has been hovering above 70 for the last 20 minutes. Yeah, for the last 20 to 30 minutes, the RSI has been hovering around 70, which is dangerously overbought territory. Let's see if cheat code Algo can predict when AMC is going to have a bearish moment. So it predicted this is not 3 out of 4. This is only 2 out of 4. So it had a sell signal here, but it's not inside the Bollinger Bands yet, and it had a CC squeeze bearish indicator. As of right now, AMC is still pushing up into these bands here. So that's 3. That's 3 indicators here. However, now there are no sell indicators. So as of right now, AMC is still ripping up ahead, and cheat code Algo is not saying that it is going to enter a bearish reversal quite yet. Let's see. Okay. How can I invest in Andrew's brain? Can I buy fractional shares? Thanks, brother. All good. Let's see. That's a good question. So people are asking if did cheat code accurately predict AMC's growth in the past? So yeah, we can take a look at that in just a second. I am planning on doing a whole, maybe like a weekend session or like an after-hour session where we just look at times where AMC and GME have ripped or dipped, and whether or not cheat code can accurately predict that. You gotta love it, right? It's just making it so simple to be able to read. TCAT is down 7% and the volume is almost non-existent. Does it make it look like it's being shorted? Can you take a look? Well, we could just look at FINRA. So let me see. So I'm looking at FINRA right now. This is TCAT and 280,000. So no, as of recently, and there's a very big like gap in FINRA's information, but as of recently, it's not being heavily shorted. Although this used to be a percentage and now it's not, so I'm getting mad. But you can essentially just use that and take a look at the volume overall. All right, it has a daily volume of about 238. So that's a day's worth of volume. So that's not a lot of shorts. Hold on, wait, let me just actually look at GMEs. 10 million. Okay, actually. Actually, it might, since it's trading in a different amount of volume, it might actually be. I'll keep looking at TCAT actually. Miles Dodd. What else needs to happen for a squeeze? Just the new rules need to drop? Also, when will one squeeze? Do you think the other one will follow? I do. I think one squeezes, the other one follows, not only because they're connected at the hip most days, not right now, but they're usually connected at the hip for trends. But you can just imagine the population of people that want to double win the lottery, right? They make it big on GME, they put it right back into AMC because that squeeze potential doesn't disappear suddenly because GME has been covered. However, I likely think that they're gonna unfortunately squeeze at the exact same time, which makes it a little more difficult to decide which one to get into, right? Because I'm imagining they're gonna go compete head in head and it's gonna FOMO one for the other, and you're gonna be like, oh no, this one, oh no, this one, and suddenly you should have bought into both, like me. AMC has just broken $9. Back up 5% on the day. Much better. ATXI yesterday. Okay, Antonio. Avenue. So Avenue is on deck. I'm gonna zoom in to Professor Meatball while I take a quick astronaut break. I have been sitting in the same chair for like an hour and a half, so I will be back stronger than before. But for now, take a look at Meatball. Meatball, don't move. Okay, I'm gonna put this in my pocket. Good boy, Meatball. There you go. Alright, so let's get back to it. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. It's like impossible to go to the bathroom. It's like, when can you go to the bathroom if like 10% of your population is constantly looking for, ooh, I really hope we get to talk more about stonks. So AMC getting rejected at 914 like clockwork. You gotta be able to use these technical analyses, guys. You gotta be able to use this to expect where AMC is gonna have some major trouble. So 914 rejected here, but I'm still hopeful that this is still this is not the end for AMC, not for this rip right here. Because even though to an untrained eye, this may seem like in total like unsustainable growth here, there's actually a little bit of consolidation right here, where AMC decided to take a break. So this could be a subwave from $8, $8.30 to $8.70, so 40-cent subwaves right now. And let's see if we can get AMC to take a break here and then keep going for another 40 cents from $8.97. That will be all the way up to $9.30. GME, on the other hand, peaked its head above 142, now starting to wedge itself with an ascending level of support from a downtrend. Now at this point, it's hard to say if this is part of a downtrend in a macro scale. So this pattern is going to be something that I am going to say is a bullish signal for now. Meatball, give me the analysis. Meatball, give me the analysis on SRNE. Matt Blair, for you. I'll take over for Meatball. Wonder if everyone else took a bathroom break too, because you guys just all came back. I appreciate it, because 3,000 of you in here, 1,000 likes, that doesn't actually make a lot of sense, right? The math doesn't add up there, and you guys know how much I love math. We gotta have the same number of people watching to the same number of likes. Like, that's just gotta happen. My brain can't comprehend the difference there. Are we at 1,200 likes yet? Because that's the old Glenn talking to me right here. TIRX is having a weird day. Suddenly we're all about TIRX. I should have sold, honestly. I should have sold my TIRX. This is a fun little ticket just in case it goes back to 100. Wouldn't that be great? Okay, so SRNE, Sorrenta Thera. By the way, if you guys haven't gotten your... My back hurts all the time because I have to sit in a chair. I just got this sent to me by an affiliate down in the description. So if you have back pain, just Command F or Control F back pain. It's been working. Kind of like it. Just kind of gives me the right support. Smash the likes. It's smoking and joking. AMC. Gotta catch a break eventually. This little guy might be a break here. 30-cent subwave, so this is going to be from 8. So 40-cent subwaves. So I'm going to downgrade my prediction from 9:30 to... Sorry, from 9... Yeah, it's still at 9:30 if it starts here. Jens, we asked this question on the daily. Hopefully it's going to be this week, but he has his own schedule. And I have my fingers crossed for this week for the rehypothecation DD. Andrew, did you capture your gains on TRX or are you writing it down? I'll write it down. This is just a fun little plane ticket. What am I going to do with like $10 in earnings that's going to be like a 50% tax rate anyway? Elmo Nestor. Raccoons have no money. Ha ha! So what we have here is a 681. Is this a solid level of support? Let's take a look at where it was before. Last time at 681 was all the way back last year. So this is the lowest that Sorrento Thera has been today. This year. So I would say that it's currently, if you like the stock, if you think that it's going to recover, this is an opportunity for you to jump in. Let's see what Cheetah Algo has to say. SRNE. Cheat code Algo is having a little bit of trouble with the sell buys. Seems to be throwing off. This is on the minute chart. However, we are seeing a lot of signals from cheat code. Let's see, the last time it would have predicted a proper sell would have been here. There's a sell signal in the Bollinger Band. However, there is no... This is the sell signal here for the CC squeeze. We would capture this 1 signal, then 2, then 3, then 4. So you would have sold right here. And the next time you would have bought in is here with the Bollinger Band buy signal as well. Yeah, you would have bought back in here. So this is the problem, is that for cheat code with a very volatile stock that doesn't act according to proper technicals, that is going to give it a little bit more, too much buy sell recommendations, even if you're looking for 4 out of 4 recommendations here. Can you look at, what was it? Did you know your chair looks like Darth Vader? Turn around and look. Okay. Oh shoot. Yeah, I see it. I can't get any further away, but that's what yep, I see it. Let's see. Vitaly is looking for the description. It's in the live chat. Oh, sorry, it's not in the live chat. Here, cheat code Algo. I'll pin this one now. You guys had the chop. Had a choice to get into Tiblio. Now we're gonna use this one. Vegas Chef Andrew says, you see Afria after getting smacked from Q3 results coming back pretty nicely. Okay, let's look at Afria. We were looking at the cannabis stocks yesterday and then we were getting really disappointed. I put Sundown instead of Afria for some reason. Ooh, back 6.5%. Okay. So then you're really questioning the true value of the stock, because if that catalyst was negative overall, then there needs to be a haircut. Otherwise, what is the free market, right? But how much of a haircut? Well, it's somewhere between the current price, and this might actually be an overcorrection based on its way over 70 RSI. What is the RSI right now? Oh no, it's not over 70 yet. It's only over 30. So I would say that this is representative of the true value of Afria as of right now after that negative news catalyst. Andrew, I am your father chair. I would love to have Ryan Cohen's face and the back of my chair so that we can have Daddy Cohen in the back of the Star Wars chair. Chair, I AMC your father. There we go, that's good. Chill, Mr. Chill and Defy. Hey, new to your channel, loving it so far. I appreciate it. To be like Chill and Defy and subscribe. Be like that guy, he's really cool. He's very chill. Can you look at Palantir and see if you think it's a good entry point? Palantir. Yesterday there was a tasty dip. It fell through 2 levels of support and actually got caught by the last level. So at 22. So that was a 10%, yeah, slightly less than 10% decline with a massive red candle to account for it in the beginning of the day. Now it's climbing up a little bit more and actually has pushed past those exact same 2 levels of resistance that it would have had trouble struggling past if it didn't already do it this morning. So I think that Palantir is actually in a very, very good position. But I think it's time for me to get some Palantir. I think it's finally time for me to get some Palantir. Let's see where it was a few days ago. Would have been down here on the 30th. We've done numerous analyses of Palantir in the past. It's a very good long-term hold. We know this. In fact, when I was on Max Marer's show for the very first time, that was the first stock that I pitched to him, and he then went out and got a whole did a whole video about Palantir. Okay, I'm just gonna buy 10. Give me 10. Give me buy 10. Done. 10 Palantirs. Now I'm in the game. I love I Am Your Father chair, honestly. Sam Elward. Fidelity seems very eager and excited to help everyone transfer and hasn't warned me once to diversify. They actually applaud me every time I call. They know I'm about to make bank. Ooh. Fidelity. That's an option, right? We're not saying we're saying you should have multiple different stock accounts, right? Get a WeBull account, open it up, use my link in the description, get 2 free stocks. It doesn't really matter. You don't have to fund it. Get 1 free stock for doing nothing. Don't put $100 into it if you only plan to use it for technical analysis, like I do, even though I do buy stocks with it as well. Patrick Needham, welcome to the Mo Monkey crew. This is the special operations gain of the Meatball Army, the Moon Platoon, so I appreciate that a ton. So I think I saw some. So people are looking for Afria. I already told you that I'm bullish on Palantir, pushing past 2 levels of resistance today. Let's take a look at SPLK. Okay. Splunk. Splunk is doing a similar little growth thing, except that it didn't eat it big time yesterday like Palantir did. The Splunk is actually looking fairly positive. Huh. So let's see. Splunk has a ascending level of resistance here back in the beginning of March that trended upwards until it finally started to consolidate around the end of March. And then when it started to trend upwards, this rip established a couple of strong levels of support here. What I want to draw is this line up here, because this is where people would, analysts would be like, oh, Splunk is on a rip. I feel like it's going to consolidate and trend downwards soon. And furthermore, I think that it's actually all depending on whether or not this is a hard floor for Splunk. I think that Splunk is in a good spot. However, because look at the RSI, so it's over 70 relative strength index. The MACD is starting to like decline its slope, right? So it's starting to retake the signal line. As of right now, I think that Splunk is in a overbought position. So in general, I would not want Splunk to mess up my day. Try not to chase it and wait for it to come to a more true price. All right, so people are just jumping on in with more suggestions. GME going burr with a small little tiny baby rip here. Please get supported by 142. Come on. You don't have to go back down. Come on. Yes. Okay, this is the peak we needed. A little bit of extra volume just to bring us over 142 and keep us there. Ty Hamilton wants me to look at Baba. Okay. Whatever happened to Jack Ma? Is he okay? Baba Ma? Baba Jack? Mark. Can I look at Mark? Yes, I can. Jim Dando. That's a good name, too. It is a bright sunny day all of a sudden in California. Throw some rockets in the chat if you're having a nice day, regardless of the markets, right? It's a positive day for GME. It's a positive day for AMC, but just throw some rockets in the chat if you're just having a nice day. And now if you're not having a nice day, let us know more. Let us know why you're not having a nice day. Okay, I'm going to go through a couple of the super stunk so that I can make sure that I haven't missed anything. Oh. Rockets in the chat. Thank you guys. Let's see. Raise your hand if you're completely zen right now. That's good. Vanguard officially confirms share recall for April 20th. We saw that yesterday. Absolutely critical. We take out the big guns for today's dark pool evidence and get it in front of big names. Dennis Keller, Alexis Goldstein, retweet and tag them. Okay, let's see if Gary Gensler is actually on the news right now. That might be able to give us a quick look. This is actually a good breakdown right here. Jack Jones broke my arm yesterday, so yeah. Oh no, my man. Oh no. Which arm? That's an important distinction. Which arm did you break? Oh man, if you guys are coming over from Mr. Warden, let me know. Throw some packages in the chat. You're more than welcome to come chill and relax with us. Let's see. So we have Mr. Warren Buffett, king of HODL, is selling his positions, including banks and 100% of JP Morgan. Steve Cohen just sold his penthouse, right, after trying to sell it for 8 years. Citadel is executing buy orders to dark pools. Better Markets is filing a legal brief. CEO George Sherman has his contract wrapped up. GameStop searching for a new CEO. Possible share recall at some point. Ton of options expiring this Friday. Big banks, right? This is one of the best 60-second updates. If you guys are just here for the updates, this is one of the best updates.
One of the most important.
What is this? Warren Buffett is selling out of his stocks, and the reason behind it are scary. I need to only broadcast news, so that's actually, I wanted to look for Gary Gensler today. SEC. Gary Gensler, SEC. His questions. Senator Elizabeth Warren questions him. There's a quick 1-minute talk about trading apps.
The volatile trading we have seen in securities favored by individual investors. Some have pointed to payment for order flow.
Some have pointed to payment for order flow, indeed. Hold on, can I get a better picture of this? Perfect. Get this guy's big head in here. This is a 1-minute long video of Gary Gensler talking about trading apps. This is the guy that's going to become the new SEC head today, and then we're going to cover just the 60-second rundown of exactly what's going on here. No, Jack Jones, not your arm, not your right arm.
For the right to execute orders submitted by individual investors as an area that deserves greater scrutiny and perhaps reform. Critics claim that payments for order flow warp the incentives of brokers and encourage them to maximize their revenue at the expense of retail investors by encouraging excessive trading. Supporters say it is misunderstood and helps ensure liquidity of investors.
This is only a 60-second video. When is Gary going to come in?
Evaluate new approaches to markets and payment for order flow, something that I think the recent events, as you rightly pointed out, raises it's important to look at economically and look at whether retail investors are getting best execution in the context that you mentioned.
Okay, well, at the very least, we'll understand that he's a little bit dry, but he's our guy. He's dry, but he's our guy. That's what I think we should actually pay attention to.
Senator Warren from Massachusetts. Work at the CFO. Climate-related.
Why is she so cropped out?
Mr. Gensler, is there
Why are they all so cropped out? Oh no.
any reason why a company that rakes in millions and millions of dollars from buying up Mr. Gensler? Now let me go to private.
Okay, so that's Gary Gensler, and so we have that. One sec. Let me do this. Nothing to see here. Move along. We have this very, very hot list here. I want to pull up that Gary Gensler DD. Well, actually, how about this? President Biden's nominee to oversee Wall Street firms and public companies, Gary Gensler, cleared a key hurdle to Senate confirmation. Let's see if it talks about a little bit more here. Tap at Mr. Biden to head the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. A tie vote can advance. Oh, okay, so there's also Rohit Chopra, who is now in that position here. So Gary Gensler and then the Dodd-Frank Act. I want to be able to pull up a little bit more information about that. Gary Gensler, Dodd-Frank. Very strong and vocal regulator. I think he could be a very strong and vocal regulator for us. I see James Bird with a super. Those close to in the money calls, in the money AMC calls are looking tasty. While buying long calls hurt the cause. Buying long, so calls are long in essence because puts are the like short position, right? They act as options act as like a proxy for those two positions. But one of the ways to expound on your question is to be able to actually think about how conversions and Mary put conversions can hurt. Even at the money calls can be turned into a Mary put conversion and then hurt the stock even if the stock is not on the SSR list. So as of right now, I would hold off in buying calls if you're trying to help the squeeze. If you're trying to make money though, that's a different question entirely. Oh, he says cryptocurrency needs more regulation too. Okay, I think there's not much of a video here. The only thing that you need to understand is that Warren Buffett, king of HODL, is selling all his positions, right? He's the guy, he's the king of buy and hold. That's his strategy. Buy a good stock, hold it tight. And no, he's selling all of his positions, including banks and 100% of JP Morgan. This is the 60-second update you guys are looking for. Steve Cohen just sold his penthouse. Interesting timing after trying to sell it for 8 years. So let's actually turn this into a video. 60. Oh, yeah, but 60 is my favorite number. It's 9 away from my favorite number. Moon Platoon, you have 60 seconds to understand everything that is coming out. And there's nothing to see here. Nothing at all. In fact, we have a Warren Buffett, the king of HODL. Remember the guy who said buy and hold is the best thing to do. The markets only go up. Is selling a lot of his positions, including banks and 100% of JP Morgan. Steve Cohen just sold his penthouse. Interesting timing after trying to sell it for 8 years. And he sold it for like 74% down. And we have Citadel executing buy orders through dark pools and selling on the open market. We covered that in the SEC dark pool video. Better Markets is filing a legal brief against Citadel to stop them from rigging the markets to protect their predatory behavior. CEO George Sherman of GME has his contract up for renewal. GameStop is searching for a brand new CEO. Possible share recall at some point, moving up to April 20th. Ton of options expiring this Friday. Big banks release earnings information on April 15th. The SEC is waiting to have their new chair nominated, Gary Gensler, likely today. Rule 801-005 could be passed at any moment, and the shorts have still not covered their shorts. Yeah, nothing to see here. Move along. If you guys want to see more updates that are just as snappy as this, then I recommend joining the Moon Platoon, hitting that subscribe or that join button down below and hitting that like button so that more people can see this 60-second update. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you in the money. Okay. Okie dokie. So I do want to play this clip real quick of what Gary Gensler actually sounds like, because it's important to be able to note that not everybody, like he has a good reputation, but we do actually want to be able to see exactly what he thinks. So this is just a quick 2-minute explanation of what he thinks about questions from Senator Elizabeth Warren.
Private equity. Mr. Gensler, is there any reason why a company that rakes in millions and millions of dollars from buying up small businesses and closing them down shouldn't have to disclose their general practices to their investors? Let me go to private equity. Mr. Gensler.
Using more.
Good. Now let me go to private equity. Mr. Gensler, is there any reason why a company that rakes in millions and millions of dollars from buying up small businesses and closing them down shouldn't have to disclose their general practices to their investors?
I think it's at the heart of the Investment Advisors Act that they would share their fees and any conflicts with their investors.
Well, their fees and I presume the overall business model, the approach they're using. Is that right?
Yes, a description of their business model to their investors. They're limited partners usually in that case.
Okay. And then finally, let me ask about the tilted roulette tables on Wall Street. If someone's been cheated by a broker-dealer, hypothetically, for example, if Robinhood cheated individual investors, hypothetically, should that company be able to use forced arbitration clauses to avoid getting sued and held accountable?
I think, Senator, that while arbitration has its place, I think it's also important that investors, or in that case, customers, have an avenue to redress their claims in the courts.
Good. You know, as you know, the SEC has the power to require disclosures that will be helpful to the investing public, like climate risk disclosures and private equity practices. And Section 921 of the Dodd-Frank Act gives the SEC the authority to prohibit the use of forced arbitration by broker-dealers when it is, quote, in the public interest and for the protection of investors. In other words, there we go. In other words, the SEC has the tools to make the markets function better. So if you are confirmed, Mr. Gensler, will you commit to picking up those tools and using them to make the markets more honest and more transparent?
Senator, if confirmed, I look forward to looking at all of the authorities, not just this one, but all the authorities to help protect investors, promote the capital formation and the efficient markets that we talked about. And this is an important authority that was vested in the agency, and looking at the economic analysis, working with fellow commissioners. I think we should look at all the authorities.
Okay, so
I appreciate
that's
that. You know,
good. So let's cut it off right there. So if we were clowning on Gary Gensler, if he wasn't like on our side, we would definitely be confused about why there's a scary woman in the background, which a bunch of you have already pointed out. So there is just a woman with a mask right behind his head. That might be his guardian angel. Cedric is saying, funny story. I went to school with Steve Cohen's stepson. I've been to that NYC apartment several times. Steve Cohen is the biggest douche he's ever met. Incredibly rude to everyone. Love this headline. All right, Cedric. Yeah, taking some strong moves here. I also want to make clear that Gary Gensler also has thoughts about cryptocurrency. So
it's Gary Cohn and
So this is a quick video about his thoughts on the crypto market right here. So let's take a quick look as well.
The Bears, Blythe Masters, talking at LME Week last week about how commodity companies can use blockchain. What does that tell you about the validity of this going forward?
Well, I think it's the technology, blockchain technology, which the public all know is underlying Bitcoin, has a real chance to be a catalyst for change in the world of finance. And that's because it moves data, and it also applies code, computer code, across a decentralized network. So I think that's why you see the likes of Sheila and Gary Cohn, and even I'm teaching at MIT blockchain technology, and the class is crowded. There's a lot of people that want to know about this technology.
So how do you regulate it?
Well, it's really important, I think, for this, if it gets broad adoption, if we really think the crypto world's going to be part of the future, it needs to come inside a public policy envelope. That means we need to guard against illicit activity. And yes, we need to protect investors. The crypto exchanges, big exchanges like Coinbase, need to really come within either SEC or the CFTC, the agency I once was honored to chair, inside of something to protect investors.
Let's distinguish two things. One is cryptocurrency and the other is blockchain. Because cryptocurrency may rely upon blockchain, but you can do things with blockchain that you don't do with cryptocurrencies.
Right.
Do we need to regulate blockchain? Because we don't normally regulate computer programs. We don't regulate JavaScript.
David, I couldn't agree with you more. We should be technology neutral to promote innovation. but still in being technology neutral. I'm agreeing not regulate the blockchain technology, but just ensure that its application, like cryptocurrency, investors are still protected. What does that mean? That we make sure there's not fraud and manipulation to the extent we can in the Bitcoin markets.
At the same time, this is to those of us who are not computer programmers, very sophisticated. It seems to be moving very, very fast, migrating. Do we have the personnel within the federal government to actually be able to understand this enough to really know whether there's fraud going on or what's going on?
Well, it's always a challenge. That was true when the internet came along in the 1990s as well. And you're right. But I don't think that means we give up. We still should try and protect investors. And then there's more confidence in markets. And where there's confidence in markets, then more people can participate.
What is the likelihood of a cryptocurrency futures options market?
Well, we already have something called a Bitcoin future on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. There's even futures on some other contracts called Ether as well on overseas markets. Now, you're asking whether there be an option on that future. I think it's in our future, to excuse the expression, but it's somewhere in the next 6 or 18 months. I think it will be there.
How relevant will that be to then help form regulation? Like, what's the feedback loop for that?
Well, I think to the extent that the international regulators can assure for more confidence, that the viewers of this program can say, all right, I'm comfortable, I can do this, and big asset managers can invest, you'll see more potential adoption. But at the core, also the technology, David, blockchain technology, has to have a place. And right now it's more hype than reality. The largest uses are still quite small. And the technology, I think, is probably 3 years and maybe 5 to 10 years away from really being able to be scaled. Visa.
Interesting. So we already have defeated his milestone. This is from 2 years ago. So he is the pick for the SEC chair, and he is now entering his position today. So this is likely going to be something that we need to understand. What is his view on cryptocurrency, especially since he mentioned Coinbase should be somehow integrated into public sector? It is IPOing tomorrow, so it is becoming more and more of a public figure. And at the end of the day, the idea that he understands that cryptocurrency is going to be more integrated into society overall, but he expected it to be in 3 to 5 years instead of the 2 years that it really took to get cryptocurrency integrated into society. Right now, you see Tesla taking the very first step by allowing you to use cryptocurrency, Bitcoin in particular, to buy Tesla, and Apple is close behind. So I think he is incredibly intelligent in understanding that this is something to point out and predict, forecast. And with his mind, I want to be able to also cover the Dodd-Frank, his work on Dodd-Frank from the last financial crisis. So if we have time, we'll come back to this video, but I do want to be able to cover this.
But what about something else that matters to...
This video is going to be a little grainier, but just so you guys know, this is all the way back when he discussed Dodd-Frank back 9 years ago, because he worked extensively on getting Dodd-Frank up and running for the 2008 financial crisis.
To a lot of our trading and investing audience. The Commodities Futures Trading Commission has a big appetite for funding, as it should. Currently, the CFTC oversees a $40 trillion industry of swaps, derivatives, futures. But once the Dodd-Frank Act is fully implemented, the agency will include all the swaps markets, which, of course, is roughly 7 times the size of the futures market. It's huge. It's a big undertaking, and the chairman of the CFTC says he needs the cash and employees to take this on fully. So, how is the budget battle in Washington impacting regulation? Joining us now in a Fox Business exclusive, Gary Gensler, chairman of the CFTC, who actually just ran in here a little bit late because you've been stuck in meetings all day, actually for the past couple of days, about what to do if there's a government shutdown.
Did she just snitch on him?
Looking at it, I'm hopeful that Congress and the president come to something, because we close like everybody else. We won't be there to oversee the markets come Monday or Tuesday. We won't be able to put out our usual commitments and traders reports come next Friday if there's a shutdown.
Let me ask you what this actually really means.
Twin brother runs mutual fund.
Employees. You might go down to just 25, if that, or will it be just you and a couple of staffers?
No, that's correct.
That's it.
They tell us the 5 commissioners can come to work plus about 25 people.
So that's it?
That's it.
When you say that you won't be able to police the markets, I mean, you're admitting this. Are we going to have a lot of speculators rushing in on Monday if there's a government shutdown and doing things they shouldn't be doing? I'm thinking, is it insider trading day?
Well, we'll have a very skeletal staff. Of course, the exchanges and the self-regulatory organizations are still there and doing what they're doing. Data will still be coming into our computers. We are able to secure our computers. So hopefully this is resolved quickly.
At a time when we're seeing oil at 30-month highs or 2.5-year highs, we haven't seen this price of $112 or, and certainly Brent is skyrocketing too. But since September of 2008, gold on its 5th record day. What does this shutdown mean when this is a very crowded trade in commodities right now?
Well, I think that the Commodity Futures Trading Commission is a good investment for the American public because it helps ensure that these markets are free of fraud and manipulation and people have confidence in the markets. So beyond the shutdown, we're making the case actually for more funding because we're going to take on, as you said, the swaps marketplace that's 7 times the size of what we currently oversee.
You know the Republicans don't like the Dodd-Frank bill, and they say while it may be well-intentioned, it's going to hurt business here in the United States, and you've got certain companies that use swaps and derivatives for just conducting business, whether it's a Caterpillar or Farmers.
Sure.
What do you say when there are others out there who say that the Republicans are intentionally trying to defund Dodd-Frank?
I say that this is a good investment for those farmers who want to lock in a price, for the companies that want to lock in interest rates or oil prices. These markets are how they manage their risks, but you need to have confidence in the marketplace. And with only 675 people, we do need more people.
Is government going to shut down, Gary?
Confidence in the marketplace. I noticed that on the crawler that he had a twin brother, so I was looking for that picture. Here is him with President Obama. Oh wait, hold on a second. Is this a better picture? Yeah, here we go. So that's his twin brother, not face on, but there is Gary looking at us, real smiley like. So I hope that gave you a better sense of exactly what kind of person is stepping into the GME, the saga. The SEC chair is a person that, one, is pretty darn cool under pressure, right? Asking these hard-hitting questions about, there are people that don't like what you do. There are people that don't support your regulations. And he says, well, I think it's going to be good for them. Kind of like a person that wants the deal to work, even if some people might be opposed to like the aftermath of certain regulations. And in that sense, SEC might actually be getting some wings. We know that Austin has come on the show before. A. Tobit has not really thought highly of the SEC, but we do need to work with them in tangent with the 6 bullet points for Congress. So if you guys are still waiting around for that, Mason, Austin, and I, as well as a graphic designer, are going to jump on a call this week to talk more about this. Hope you guys are excited. Hope you guys realize that this is the man that is going to be running the GME saga in terms of the regulation side soon. And now that you have a more intimate view about him, make sure that if you want other people to find out about this video, press that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe, and we will see you in the money. Peace. Cool. Lee Halt Al Cast, sorry for the wait. Is it possible that DFE with his $11 million cash on hand exercises his call, averages down and buys 50,000 more shares at market, averages up to where his average is now 200,000 shares? Your opinion? Is it possible? Yes. Why hasn't he done it yet? That's a better question, right? Is it possible? Yes. But I'm not sure why he hasn't. I mean, a lot of things are possible. So we have to see as the 16th rolls around. Thank you, Vegas Chef Andrew, for catching my eye. There's 2 of them. Yes, look. There's this one who manages a mutual fund, and this one who is the new SEC chair. He also has a bunch of free MIT lectures on YouTube. So that's the kind of guy, right? Do you see like a bad guy on YouTube giving education from MIT for free? Not all the time. This is kind of reserved for guys who give an F about the world. Maddie might. There are some dangerous unsubstantiated info getting posted on Reddit. Can you speak to why it's so important for apes to do their own research? Oh man. Oh man. Oh, Maddie Might. I think I need to do a whole video based on this. Maddie Might, you are speaking language that I love. Why is it so important? Well, let me tell you. Let's talk about timing. Timing, Moon Platoon. Maddie Might is asking, there's dangerous, unsubstantiated info getting posted on Reddit. Timing is critical to all of this. Timing allows for peer review. Timing allows for edits to be made when the person that wrote the original DD might have meant one thing or another. It is one of the most crucial pieces of development, speculation, and then actual data that then comes out and provides you more information. Maddie Might, there is perfectly reputable DD writers on Reddit, right? You might believe everything they say, but still comes down to timing. They might not be right. We have gotten things about the recall speculative and then ultimately corrected. We've gotten things about the DTC regulations that were speculative and then ultimately corrected, right? Not everyone's a lawyer, not everyone's a financial advisor, and they're definitely not your lawyer or financial advisor. So I cannot stress this enough. PSA, make sure to do your own research. Understand what good research looks like, understand what good peer review looks like, ask for that constructive criticism, and start there, right? I'm not afraid of constructive criticism, neither should any of you. So put out your own DD or do your own research when it comes down to allowing these news updates to push you to the right path. Never ever fly on instinct. And that is Maddie Might's important PSA to everyone. Let's see. Hold on. Okay, so we had a better, closer look at Gary Gensler. You guys saw this? I'm gonna go through another couple of pieces of research before I then ask for more ticker symbols. So anybody has other ticker symbol suggestions, let me know. We cycle through the important news of the day as well as the technical analyses you guys are looking for. So if you guys don't want to pay for cheat code Algo, that's one of the things that I can do for you. I'll just pull up the cheat code Algo with the stock in question that you guys are looking for. Okay. Thought I was getting rid of Obama and the Genslers. Genslers, be gone. Please. Okay. Phew. Genslers scared me. Let's see. Mighty Matt, of course. Ebon. So I think the very first person was Roblox Burr. So, Customer Zero says, pay my uncle's bar bill. I liquidate everything. Call all my friends for money, but the bill is still huge. Barkeep wants his money. How is the barkeep gonna pay the apes? Is that a cool analogy, or are you having some trouble with your bar bills? Roblox. Ooh, it is ripping. Big fat rip from our Roblox friends, pushed past that 70. So if this channel continued to track, maybe it would be where it is now. I want to say that there's some hindsight bias there. However, Roblox pushing above 70. What is the next level here? Let me get rid of auto. I don't have another level tracked. I think this is the highest Roblox has gone. Oh no, it has ripped after hours to much higher, but I'm not gonna speculate on that. Okay, so Roblox has run away. Roblox has run away. It is above 70 RSI. Its MACD is way far and away higher than the signal line, but it is coming back down to earth soon. And it just pushed over this fairly strong ceiling that has kept Roblox down for a good amount of time. Let's see now. So I would say Roblox steer clear. I don't see there's a lot of runway before it's gonna face another series of consolidations. Guys, if you guys are here just for the AMC and GME, we're gonna go back in just a second. But I do want to make sure that people know that GME and AMC, they're really important opportunities, right? Not only to make a lot of money, but to make your voice heard in the financial system. However, we are here to educate everyone as many stonks as possible. Okay, trading between UWMC, between that channel right there, and now getting rejected by here. Predictable. Almost too easy. Down here, let's use the bodies of these candles. Doesn't really track. The bodies of these candles. As of right now, in terms of risk reward, UWMC is trending on its way down from getting rejected at 773. That doesn't mean that it could continue on this impulse here. It just means that it had an opportunity. It did not make that opportunity, make the most of that opportunity. UWMC looking like it is going to trend between these two levels for another day or so. Can't predict what happens in the after hours though. So that's something, as if you cut out this part of the after hours, then this trend downward actually makes a lot more sense. EBAN. And then we're back to the GME AMC saga here. Customer zero. Oh yes, I love analogies. King of analogies here. Okay, so this is a pretty hard roof. For EBAN moving forward. This is harder to tell. Is this a roof? This would only be a roof if it was supported before. We're looking for resistances here. Let's see if this is the current resistance now. Yes. Perfect. Okay, so we are looking at this level of resistance here. That it has just peeked its head again above. I think EBAN is actually in a very opportunity-rich space here. I think EBAN is just peeking its head above this resistance at 490. That's a pretty strong bottom for EBAN. It hasn't really seen lows like this in a long time. So if you're looking to be long-term on EBAN, this might be a great entry point. I think so. Yes, Ricardo, we will. We will show that cheat code more in depth in real time. Jezebel, while we totally get that everyone has passionate, informed views on politics, let's keep it to stocks and crypto here. Apes together. Yeah, let's keep it to just ways to be rich, right? I don't think politics, unless you're the politician, really makes you rich. Let's now go to... Let's do EBAN real quick to see what cheat code has to say. On the minute charts, it's hard to see direct signals here. Let's actually go out and look at the hourly. That's better. So right now we have one buy signal inside the Bollinger Band too, so that's two, and then one signal from CC swing. So actually, cheat code agrees with me that there's 3 out of 4 indicators here that says that this is an excellent entry point. So I would like to say that I said it first, but EBAN is looking very positive as an entry point here. Let's see if it predicted it correctly last time. So the last time it had a major run up, either this one or this one, we had one buy signal inside the Bollinger Band, no signal from the CC squeeze, but then here a slightly later signal from the swing. So it would have had 3 signals out of 4 at around $6. Then you would have rode that $6 all the way up to 13. I think in terms of EBAN, actually pretty darn positive in terms of entry points from cheat code and yours truly. Let's see. Farima, what's going on? You go to FPWM? Sure. FPWM. Charlestown Premium Beverages. So let's see. Now I tend to see on this chart just basically like a Greek tragedy, a run up that then crashed within days. So a run up that was half a month in the running and then crashed to below its starting point here. However, this is another slow run up here. Is this just going to continue? Is this just continue the same pattern? It's like Sisyphus pushing the boulder. Let's see what I can't make heads or tails of it. So let's see if P M W W M. Let's see what cheat code says. There we go. Cheat code. Let's see if cheat code could have predicted that fall. So right here, right on this bar, it had a sell signal. It also had a CC squeeze, Bollinger Band, and a swing signal. So this would have been 4 out of 4. If you were paying attention, you would have been able to see that this was the catastrophic do sell right now. Now let's see if it has a buy signal recently. 1 buy signal into the Bollinger Band, but nothing else. 2 out of 4 signals. So that's it right now. Don't move on Charleston Premium Beverages. But I can't give you financial advice. That was not financial advice. Jonathan McGowan says, when do we think we're going to see the squeeze in AMC and GME? I would like to say that we are really scaring the hedge funds. We're really scaring the Melvins and the Citadels because of these positive catalysts. So they have to try and push the price of the stock down. So let's actually go back to GME and AMC real quick. Take a look at this corrective wave, right? 1, 2, 3, or ABC. We see ABC in terms of this corrective wave coming down from 142, dropping us down to 138. So overall, a much smaller corrective wave than the impulse that we saw earlier. And now, if we can actually get rid of all this stuff, that would be awesome. Hold on. Make it a little cleaner. Hey, Pattern Integrity Films, thank you for joining the Moon Platoon. You are now you always have been, but you're now officially an officer of the Moon Platoon. I appreciate that. Okay, in the settings, I don't want it to show the, oh, there's hotkeys too. I don't want to show all this information because it's really starting to, oh, you know, I can just get rid of it. Oh no. Gets rid of the indicator as well. VWAP. Give me the VWAP back. There it is. Well, anyway. For Rima Flashute, thank you so much for the super. Sundow killing me. Uh-oh. John Dillon says just received his Moon Platoon shirt. It's legit AF. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you for all you do, John. I appreciate you. Apes together strong. Heck yeah. Can I look at Cron stock? Need an exit strategy. Well, let's just, I'm going to outsource it to cheat code. Cron. Ron looks like you had it. So let's look at the couple of exit strategies that you could have had in the recent past. So all the way back in February, let's look at this sell indicator here, right? 1 sell indicator inside the Bollinger Band with the CC squeeze and the CC swing indicators telling you to sell right before this massive dip. And now, let's see if there's an exit strategy coming out soon, right? This is a sell signal with nothing else, with a CC swing signal here. However, it's not inside the overbought Bollinger Band, so this is only 2 out of 4. That's the last time we were even close. So there's no easy trade right here with the way that the stock has been trading. It's just been consolidating downward. If you're expecting to see another resurgence, there needs to be a news catalyst. Oh yeah. Oh my joints, my back. My back has been healthier. Oh yeah. Havoc Plus says, I've been watching you while I'm at work all day. Great job on the information. I'm certain I'm not the only one that has greatly appreciates it. Can you do me a solid and look into CTRM? You got it. CTRM. Boom, boom, boom. Castor Maritime continues to plummet. Just yesterday, a sideways trading. Today, sideways trading. My little resistance and support lines, I kept saying that CTRM seems to be scraping the bottom of the barrel. Seems like it is not done falling. So let's actually see if cheat code tells me differently. Oh, it tells you a buy here. One buy signal inside the Bollinger Band. That's 2 out of 4. No squeeze and no swing indicator here. It did have all 4 back on the 8th. So if you bought here, you would have rode CTRM all the way up here, and then there would have been no sell signal, so you would still be sideways trading. So at the end of the day, it's hard to tell if something is a fake out right here. This seemed like that would have been some healthy growth, but unfortunately, there's just nothing to do right now. Nothing doing. Ooh, pumping GME on Meet Kevin, eh? So if you guys have other ticket symbol suggestions, otherwise we're gonna go back and read a little bit more news. It's clear the SEC still isn't worried. Well, we'll see if Gary Gensler starts changing it. Steve Cohen sold his job, dang. The brain is made up of billions of brain cells. Alone, a single cell has no intelligence whatsoever, but together they form an organ which is also very stupid. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, wait, hold on. I am reading your comments and going through some news at the same time. Option chains going crazy. I'm always a little curious about this new flare, which is called Possible DD. Why is it called Possible DD? Option chain going crazy. Derek P, appreciate all the news you bring to the ape masses. Keep up the good work. Would love to see some SLGG on the fancy algo. Sure. And did you see what Candace said about GME? SMH. Who's Candace? Am I missing something? Who's Candace? Okay, let's take a look at SLGG on the fancy cheat code algo. Ooh. 3 signals for buy already off the bat, right? We're inside the Bollinger Band. We have a buy signal straight up from the cheat code algo, and we have the squeeze indicator right here. So Super League Gaming actually looks like it is wedging itself downward from a uptrend. So this is a bullish signal by itself, and cheat code algo could see it as well. Now, however, do take it with a grain of salt here that it was 4 out of 4 in March. And then you would have seen this small fake out from well, it's not that much of a small fake out, it's 30% up. So you would have ridden this 30% up train, and then Chico would have not gotten you out in time. It would have been only 2 out of 4, a sell signal and a swing signal to sell. You likely wouldn't have sold, and therefore you would have rode the train all the way down, right? That's the problem with stocks that fake you out. You would have bought here, and now you would be roughly in the same position you were before. However, it is once again showing 3 positive indicators here. So, Super League Gaming, does it have a chance? Chico Algo seems to think so, but it has been wrong a couple of times. I'm gonna say that this one is right with a 30% increase. Like everybody would like a 30% increase. However, this one right here is also a 4 for 4, a buy signal inside the Bollinger Band with a squeeze and a swing indicator. So this would have been a 4 for 4, and you would have bought and immediately started to tumble. Not always right, but that's what an algorithm is. Who is Candace? Ah! So I'm not sure if the crowd likes me streaming all day or if I should stream twice a day. So if you guys let me know which one you prefer. Obviously, one of them requires me to sit in a chair all day. So I might wrap up at around 9:30 or 10 and then come back early. Maybe I'll wrap up at 9 and come back early at like 10:30 or 10. Let's see. Any other questions? Do not hold your peace. Speak them into existence. Uh-oh. Candace Deek. No. Oh my god. Dwarkars, no. No. Oh man, I almost said it on autopilot too. Oh man. I hear my girlfriend laughing in the other room. Did you hear that?
Yeah, go ahead and log off for me.
Oh no. Oh man. Okay. Well, tombstones in the chat for me. Bones in the chat for RIP me. BLFI.
I saw that. Excuse me. And I was like, I don't. He's probably gonna fall for it.
Oh no. Incognito 316. Just want to thank all of you beautiful diamond handed apes for finally getting me into investing. Oh, Incognito. Also love all the hard work you put in for us. Incognito, you're going into the little bank of positive supers for learning. Learning is good. Oh no, Dwarkars. I don't feel bad at all that you did that. That's very nice though. Very, very nice. Got me good. I died. Oh no, who is Candace? Says Bamboonicorn. But who is Candace? Let's see. Did you see this message? Let me see now. So, Butterfly Network Inc. Oh man, who is Candace? Ah, jeez. Oof. I have to reveal my gullibility. Okay, so this is a 3 for 4. So we have a CC swing indicator. Oh, I realize that this is now blocking the way. We have a CC swing indicator here, as well as a Bollinger Band and the buy signal right here. Now it's not actually quite at there, but this is the buy signal. You would have been wrong if you bought in and into the 13th, you would still be down on the day. This is a soft buy signal. It's only 2 out of 4. So as of right now, Butterfly Network seems like it has the opportunity from cheat codes perspective to be able to jump in at this entry point, but not a strong 4 out of 4 yet. Deborah Todd, thank you for joining as a Mo Monkey. Was it because of the Candace? Oh, jeez. Abe J, if you do want the brand new cheat code algo, use the description down below, as well as the pinned link right here. Let me just, it's this blue pinned link over here. See that? Cheat code algo. It's also in the description.
Every day we are alive, we don't want to.
That's true. Every day we're alive, we learn something, even if we don't want to. Daniel Bly says, why is the short borrow rate so important? It's important because the lower it is, the easier it is to short. However, there are some DD about about having a low borrow rate is actually like a trap that gives the long whales an advantage. I'm not sure if I completely follow that argument. However, this is a investigation continuing. Let's see. New GME co-chair Dr. Candice Chen meets with GME board. Dr. Chen is an associate professor in Department of Health Policy. Wait, Candice is a real person? No. Are you? Don't spread fake news. Oh. This is a Facebook post though. This is a Facebook post from 2019. We're not talking. Someone was playing a joke on me. There's no real Candace. Let's see.
Just chat, hit the like button. Goes again.
Candace chat hit the like button. That's what it is. Dewarcars. Candace chat hit this like button, please. Come on now. We have fun here. Let's put this right over here. Candace chat, hit that like button, please. How many likes do I have?
1.4.
Okay, so we've hit 1,200.
People stuck his like Snoop down your mug. So.
That's why there's so much fur in my mug all the time.
No, it's like you on the floor.
Is there fur in this mug too? No. Okay.
Sniffing all of your like drinks. So.
All right. Thanks for getting us to 1,200, guys. Let's do 300 more. 1,700. Cheers. Meatball, you thirsty? You can have the rest of my water now that you've stuck your nose underneath my mug. Here you go. Can this GME thing go brr already? We can do any, you can make any joke with Candace. It's a perfect joke. Let's see. Mom reveal at 4K? Yes, 4,000 likes. Mom reveal. Come on now. Daniel, Andreas would like to see SOL. SOL. Let's see, first of all, if we predicted the first rise correctly. So it would have been good to have, when would cheat code have brought you in December? Okay, so here's a buy signal and no other signal, so you wouldn't have bought here, but this would have been the most opportunistic place to buy. Actually, there's 3 out of 4 here. You're inside the Bollinger Band here, as well as this swing signal and the buy signal. So you have to have 3 out of 4 to make a decision. If you did buy in here, you would have $5 that would tracked all the way up. Would it have kicked you out at any time here? Unfortunately, it would have kicked you out right here. So if you're taking these indicators as scalping opportunities, you would have sold right here, and that would have made you sad. Ice Wallow Comb, thank you for the super, and Darian K Singletary, thank you for joining the Moon Platoon. That's what we're talking about. I appreciate you. So we have the sell here. 4 out of 4 sell signals here inside the Bollinger Band for overbought, CC squeeze and the CC swing. You would have been kicked out of your position by cheat code algo here. and then you wouldn't have bought here. It's not a strong buy signal. So then you would have been out of your position for the longest time, and then you would have had 3 out of 4 here to buy back in. And then let's see if you actually would have seen the writing on the wall here with the sell. This is a sell signal inside the Bollinger Band with a CC squeeze and a CC swing. That's 4 out of 4. So you would have sold at the top. That is the power of this tool, is to tell you exactly when to get out, as well as, you know, for long positions, how to get in. So let's see where the next position it would like to tell you. Let's see in the last few weeks if it's told you to get in. We have a Bollinger Band with a buy signal and a CC squeeze, but no CC swing. That's 3 out of 4. If you bought in here, you would have been sorry, because it would have been a lot more of sideways trading here. Now this is a 4 for 4 right here at this price, $10. You would have seen a small rise up to 13. I mean, that's 30% still. So that's still substantial. Then would you have been kicked out of your position? No Bollinger Band, but this is a sell signal combined with a swing signal. That would have been a 2 out of 4. So unfortunately, with only a 2 out of 4, you would have stayed, and then you would have had a 30% rise and then a 30% dip. So now you're back at $10. There's no indicator to buy as of right now, so hold on tight, but come back and check in again on the show. We'll show you the cheat code algo again. Had there been any communication with the congressman's office? We are meeting with Mason, who worked at the congressman's office and has a working relationship with Congressman Ro Khanna, with Austin and a graphic designer later this week. I already sent that email out yesterday. Let's see if people have bandwidth later this week to talk. Candice, that's pretty good. Is it not Candice? Is it Candice? Oh man, that's pretty good. Andrew Mo Money says, Tai Chan, what price do you think coin will be right at opening bell tomorrow? That would be like trying to hit, using a dart to try to hit like a donkey from 5 fields away. It's, I don't know where that southern analogy came from, but I don't think the volatility with Coinbase tomorrow is going to be anyone's like, I don't think a lot of people are going to make money off of the Coinbase IPO tomorrow unless you really have either some inside information, experience with IPOs, or you are really lucky. So if you're not any of the 3 of those, steer clear of buying the IPO on the actual IPO day. But that said, let's actually see if there is some news about Coinbase IPO that we can actually follow up with. We have some from Yahoo News 21 hours ago. Let's take a look at either Bullpen Capital Founders, a cash engine right now. If you guys have seen the reports of how much money Coinbase has made in the very recent like last quarter and then the last like few quarters, it's a ridiculous amount of money. Extrapolated over the whole year of 2021, it's more money than you can imagine. It's a lot of money. What Coinbase's IPO means for the crypto market plus Bitcoin nears record. Bitcoin broke that record earlier, and now we're playing with the aftermath.
Tesla adding it to their balance sheets, which makes them effectively also a crypto play as well. And it depends what investors are going to want to target. Obviously, there would be more clean ways to target one of these specifically. If you're looking at Bitcoin, obviously a Bitcoin ETF seems to be the best play there. But when you broaden out, all of these things in general tend to trade.
Hold on. Who's this person? This person kind of looks like young Gary Gensler. Urban Warfare Media, Slink the Director says, love the chat. Shout out to Narcos, Paintball, Gorilla, Music Man, and Gorilla Boy, Wilkie, AMC Frontline Soldiers for the Moon Platoon. Yes, thank you so much for supporting and fighting the good fight here. All right, Coinbase here.
Coinbase's market debut this week, the largest U.S. crypto exchange is set to debut at the NASDAQ on Wednesday via a direct listing. Yahoo Finance anchor Zach Guzman is here for more on this one. Zach, it certainly seems as though all the planets are aligned for Coinbase on its direct listing day.
I mean, it's hard to think about a time that they could have chosen that would have been better than this, Saz. But I mean, backing up a step, right? We all know that that's going to be a big catalyst because of the numbers so far that Coinbase has already shared. Obviously, a lot of investor demand around that direct listing we're going to get on Wednesday. But beyond that, there is a lot of enthusiasm right now, momentum building, shall we say, around Bitcoin ETF applications. Out this morning was Mike Novogratz's Galaxy Digital filing for their own Bitcoin ETF that now makes it at least 10 that I'm aware of, that we're aware of here at Yahoo Finance that have been filed, two of which have been mentioned there by the SEC in terms of which ones they're going to have to weigh in on. Van Neck, the first in that list. And when you think about that, I mean, obviously we've been talking a lot about Coinbase and the users on that platform, the retail side of the growth in crypto. But as we increasingly look at institutional investors, you know, Bitcoin ETFs are pretty huge. We've already seen about $1 billion flow into the one in Canada that got approved. That's given a lot of hype and hope around what could happen here in the U.S. and what the SEC is going to say about these 10 applications. But Sazi, I mean, that's going to be a fire hose if one of those does get approved. You got to think that the other 9 on that list probably would follow soon after. And what that means could be huge for the amount of money that would flow into Bitcoin and some of these other ETFs being floated out there. So yes, not only Coinbase right now is a catalyst, but also some pretty big institutional dollars that are waiting there if one of these ETFs should get approved by the SEC.
So there's a lot of money going on, and we already know what Gary Gensler's, the new chair of the SEC has to feel about crypto, is that he feels like it should be internalized and regulated. Jessica Knight is wondering, what's going on with AMC or GME? AMC had one of the most textbook perfect depictions of a George W right here, right? We called it early this morning, seeing this bullish momentum track. It's hard to predict exactly where this is going to go, which is why you usually have to draw these levels of resistance and support, because AMC, without much of a hiccup, rose all the way up from 830 all the way to 914. That's a rise of like almost double digits in terms of 80 cents up on 836. Yeah, that is 10% up from where AMC was before. At the other side, GameStop did not have a strong signal here of exactly where it wanted to go from a pivot of around 135, but it did then decide to follow along AMC's path. And that is something important to point out, is that AMC and GME do trend together even if only one of them has the right indicator. So if this George W was an indicator of both the success of GME and AMC as they trended together, that was something to note. While AMC continued to rip, GME started to dip below this 142 level, and there it was rejected and now trending underneath, right above its own VWAP right now. You can see that the VWAP is acting as if it is a live participant in the lines that we draw as analysts. As a main point here, we have resistance and support lines that every analyst basically takes a look at, and now that you know the secret code, basically like Morse code of like where we expect to see turbulence, there is likely going to be also that kind of secret code that passes through each of these analyses minute by minute, day traders and long position holders. The most important piece here is that the VWAP acts as if it is a live agent in the chart, right? This is a line that changes based on volumetric weighted average price. So it's not controlled by any person putting a line like myself on the graph, and yet it bounced beautifully right off of the VWAP earlier and now is bounced once again. So this is 2 textbook examples of technical analysis, right? One, George W double bottom that allowed AMC to rocket, and for GME right here, the VWAP as a live technical line that allows us to predict where GME is going to bounce or see resistance at. Wilma comment go burr says DeWarkars is being a real cut up right now. JL says, do I have a coupon code for cheat code Algo? Check the link. I was under the impression that that was one of the opportunities to get a coupon. Let me ask the founders. There's just 2 cool guys working on this product, so let me give a quick look into it. Cheat code. Some are asking for a discount. Is that likely in the near future for my affiliate link? Okay, let's check. Let's find out. Thank you, Hector, with a coffee in the morning. Ooh, almond milk, delicious. Okay, I cut off the Coinbase video because of Jessica's comment, but now we're gonna go and take a look. It's about 2 minutes left in this video.
And, you know, Zach, it makes me think about the direct listing coming up from Coinbase. And I've been thinking about this since they filed, since we knew they were going to file, and now the day is kind of here. I mean, at this point, is Coinbase the best sort of de facto ETF, right? Is it the best kind of levered tracking stock to the price of crypto that gets you your exposure, but you don't have to actually deal with the custody issues, the compliance? It's just a regular old stock. And if you have the mandate to buy US listed stocks, well then, you know, Coinbase is going to fit right in there.
I think we're getting to the point, Miles, where we're going to find out the answer to that question rather shortly, right? Because people could look at Coinbase. I myself and others here have talked about it kind of being the way to invest in the picks and shovels in this craze, right? And you think back to the gold rush, and there's some truth to that. Obviously, they make fees on each transaction, whether or not it's going up or down. If you have people buying or selling, Coinbase is going to profit. So volatility might be good, right? We talk about the markets and the traditional, stock market. The exchanges tend to benefit from volume boosts. But when we talk about crypto itself, I think we're getting into a very interesting chapter here, because we already have companies like MicroStrategy, Tesla adding it to their balance sheets, which makes them effectively also a crypto play as well. And it depends what investors are going to want to target. Obviously, there would be more clean ways to target one of these specifically. If you're looking at Bitcoin, obviously a Bitcoin ETF seems to be the best play there. But when you broaden out, all of these things in general tend to trade in lockstep, right? When we think about Bitcoin and the way that will trade, generally has an impact on the altcoins as well. But the farther and farther along we go, you have to expect that some of these are going to start to break off once these projects get a little bit more developed, and you start to see how these things are getting built out. Particularly, we can point to stable coins and what we've seen there, and the Winklevoss twins trying to build out. I think we're starting to get into a space where we're going to see these eventually break. We're going to have things break from each other and trade on their own. The correlation coefficients might not be so large. But yeah, you're right. I think at some point we're going to start to see this space mature. I think the ETF might be one step for people to kind of try and target maybe Bitcoin versus Ethereum, should those follow as well. But I think this week's going to be very interesting. The Coinbase one, people have been waiting a long time for this. Obviously, a lot of people have been pointing to that as a big catalyst. We'll see what happens Wednesday, but obviously, depending on where that goes, I think it's going to bring a lot more.
Well, thank you, Mr. Pundit. So there we go. Otis stock go burr. Candace, seriously. So Hologram wants me to look at Cake and MGNI. Okay, look at Cake first. Well, Coinbase. It's one of the easiest signals to decipher, but Roblox was also one of the obvious wins that didn't obviously win, and now it is. I mean, it's certainly up today, but it's not everything is perfectly as it seems from these kinds of IPOs, because volatility follows immensely. So what I'm gonna say is that I'm trying to make a shirt with Candace on it. So that would be, if you guys would want a Candace shirt, throw some scissors in the chat, because I'm thinking about well, these beautiful inside jokes really end up making the whole thing. So I'm thinking about a balloon platoon shirt, definitely. Maybe a spoon platoon shirt as well. Think about it. It was easier with emojis, honestly. Okay. Tai-chan, what or who determines the opening price for a direct listing? It's everybody, right? It'll start off with a price, but then the market will decide what the actual price of the stock is. Every stock is decided upon that, unless we are starting to realize more and more often that the stock is directly manipulated by certain forces outside of our control. Let's look at the bullpen founder. So I know that this is hot news right now. So I want to be able to at least talk one more time about what the Bullpen Capital founder thinks of the IPO.
Well, it is shaping up to be a very busy IPO week. The big one on deck, though, Coinbase going public this Wednesday through a direct listing. Let's bring in Duncan Davidson, Bullpen Capital founder and general partner. Duncan, a lot of IPOs to get through too, but let's talk about Coinbase first, because we were talking about this, Zach and I were talking about this earlier. This is kind of a bellwether, if you will, for how investor appetite is going to look when it comes to cryptocurrencies. How are you looking at this IPO shaping up, and what are the expectations?
It's going to be huge. Understand Coinbase is an anomaly. Although it's sort of a banking type of entity, it has become the Facebook or Google of crypto. It is so dominant. The question is, how did Goldman Sachs let this happen? Coinbase is an amazing opportunity. It's churning out lots of cash, which is why it's going out as a direct listing. It's a perfect direct listing candidate. It doesn't need to raise money. It's a cash engine right now.
Yeah, Duncan, I mean, you've been through this a few times, right? So when we talk about IPOs, whether or not it's an investor or bringing companies to market yourself, talk to me about what you've seen so far to start the year, because we saw a lot of companies come out the gates double on day one. Things not necessarily as hot in Q1, but now this week, I mean, there's a lot coming down the pike here this week. So, I mean, where are you putting the temperature check at right now and kind of reinvigorated demand here to kick off Q2?
Well, first of all, we have to recognize that SPACs have eaten the normal IPO market. They are a predominant factor in the market right now. And they slowed down a couple of weeks ago. There was a little bit of a chill in the SPAC market. I don't know if you guys have reported on this yet, but the SEC stepped in late last week and is trying to make the SPAC process more like a normal IPO. I think this is good because, in a way, we're in a race with SPACs to either institutionalize them or have them blow up because of too much excess. And so the SEC stepping in is part of this process to make them more institutionalized. And I think the SPAC market is going to stabilize. It may have to digest the SEC comment.
Just the scrutiny alone is likely to dampen the SPAC boom that we've seen over the last 4 months.
Well, there's an interesting part of SPACs, which is quite fascinating to me. Normally in an IPO, you can't do a projection. But in private markets, venture capital markets, companies make projections all the time, and we scrutinize them, and they're used to figure out whether the prospects of the company are really good or not. In SPAC world, because the SPAC IPO has no projections, it's a shell, there's no operations, it's not been an issue. But in the de-SPAC process, the process where you do a PIPE to raise private money and then merge in the private company into the SPAC, in that situation, people have been putting projections in. And some of these SPACs are trading on 2024 and 2025 numbers. And sometimes you look at the numbers. I know one SPAC, which is doing $4 million in revenue, is predicting $400 million by 2025. Okay, maybe there's a little bit of exaggeration going on in some of these projections. So what the SEC is trying to do is force the company and the banks, in particular the banks, to scrutinize and rationalize these projections. And if you go overseas, other markets like the ASX in Australia, they allow the IPOs to do one-year projections, but the banks are held to a high standard of vetting those projections. And that's part of what's going on right now. I think this is good. I don't think this is a bad thing. You don't want this market to blow up. You want this market to be institutionalized and continue for a long time.
And Duncan, just to return back to Coinbase, it's kind of funny. We're talking so much about SPACs now. I remember chatting with you, I guess, back in 2019, chatting a lot about direct listings when Slack went that route and whether or not that would be the new thing.
Okay, I do want to be able to put this out. So we have Candace Stock Go Burr right there.
Why is it in italic?
What? It is? No, it's not.
Oh, I'm not wearing my glasses.
Why is the world in italics? So there's a Candace Stock Go Burr. If you guys have other ideas about what to put in the shirt, let me know. We're having fun. Everything in the merch store is limited edition, so if you guys want Spoon Platoon or Moon Platoon or Balloon Platoon shirts, I think that's a really fun idea. Candace Stock Go Burr, please. Oh man. Okay, so we are gonna wrap up for this morning. I'll be back. I'll be back like 10:30. Right, I'll be back way earlier to prepare for after hours and for the power hour and the after hours. So don't go anywhere. All of you promise that you guys are going to be back, and at the very least check out one of the links below. Right, start with the merch store. It's actually a pretty fun website. I built it. It's fun. Hope you guys like this. If you guys have any suggestions, go out of this video, wait until the comment section shows up, and then drop a comment on it to prove to the algorithm that you were here. Thank you guys for liking this video, subscribing. You know, we actually had a finally a little boost in subscribers for a while now because we reached critical mass. Right, I have one of the highest subscribers to non-subscriber ratio, so let's keep it that way. I really do appreciate you guys from jumping on. I have a lot of work to do, mainly to continue working on this channel, also to work on my full-time job, but also to respond to a bunch of your messages and thank those of you who have sent not only super chats but also PO box donations and stuff like that. Thank you guys so much. This is from me to you. Genuinely, I never thought I was going to be here a couple months ago, and now we're doing documentaries and stuff. It's a really, really fun ride, and I'm glad you're here with it. For now, but not for forever. We'll see you in about an hour and a half in the money. Peace.